high school football right here on Heart of Ohio Sports. Nate Mullins on the call with Tommy Hall. We are live here at Don Paul Stadium in Fremont, Ohio, the site of tonight's matchup between the Tiffin Columbian Tornadoes and the Fremont Ross Little Giants. Once again, Nate Mullins on the call, Tommy Hall on my left, Greggy the Wizard Kinn on my right. We have the A-team on the crew once again. Austin Rodriguez on the sideline camera, Eric Hall on the sideline reporting, and Connor Roush, Mr. Details on the camera today, the overhead cam. Thanks for tuning in. Today's broadcast presented by XCARET Mexican Restaurant, Your Legacy Federal Credit Union, and Buckeye IT Services. Let's take a moment and thank all of our sponsors before we get to the broadcast here on Heart of Ohio Sports. Thanks to Your Legacy Federal Credit Union, Buckeye IT Services, XCARET Mexican Restaurant, Hope in Fostoria, First National Bank of Sycamore, UIS Insurance and Investments, STEINMETZ Signs and Graphic Inc., Lease Floor Covering, Little HUGO'S, 5-Star Maintenance, DAH Wraps, CLOUSE Electric, FEASEL'S Frame and Collision, WEBSTER Industries, Burns Electric, Circle H Tire, Benchwarmers Restaurant and Delivery, SARA REISEN Century 21 BOLTE in Tiffin, and Pit Stop. All proud sponsors with us here on Heart of Ohio Sports, the pulse of the Buckeye State. We're tuned into the pregame show right now. The pregame show brought to you by XCARET Mexican Restaurant. Tommy, we got just a little bit of time to break this one down, but there's a nice little trek over here from Tiffin to Fremont, about 30-minute drive, but it's a little bit further for you, huh, today?
Just a little bit, but I wouldn't rather be anywhere else, as it's definitely worth the trip to see these two Titans clash as Tiffin Columbian climbs the beanstalk to take on the Fremont Ross Little Giants from beautiful Don Paul Stadium, as we'll find out tonight if third time is a charm for the Tiffin Columbian Tornadoes, who have yet to upend the Fremont Ross Little Giants in week one. As we talked about last season, Fremont Ross came away with a victory 34-14, but with a new team in the Fremont Ross Little Giants, new look at quarterback after Toledo commit graduated last season. Now we're gonna see what kind of shoes Fremont Ross has filled over the last season with the absence of Caden Holmes. So that's one thing that Tiffin Columbian definitely has working for them and against them, is that element of the unknown against the Fremont Ross Little Giants. But this Tiffin Columbian squad, this definitely is a Columbian squad that comes in a lot more wiser than those last two encounters with the Fremont Ross Little Giants, as you'll see a senior quarterback start his senior campaign in Braden Rogo.
Yeah, absolutely. The Akron commit looking to get things going here in the 2023 campaign. This is his swan song, Tommy. This is his senior campaign, and he is looking to make an impact this year and looking to make a statement on his Tornado career. Because, Tommy, as you know, you and I, his freshman campaign, they took a long trip all the way to the state semifinals, and, you know, they'd love to get back to that spot again this year, but standing in their way, these Fremont Ross Little Giants, they have been a thorn in the side of these Tornadoes for the last 2 years, upending them here 2 years ago in a nail-biting thriller comeback, trailing by 16 points in the fourth quarter, coming back to win that one here at home in front of the home crowd. And then last year, really kind of taking care of business, as that one was close all the way up till halftime, and then they just kind of pulled away after halftime. So we're going to see how this one plays out here tonight, as we're just about ready for the opening kick, brought to you today by Benchwarmers Restaurant and Delivery. Make sure you stop on out to the Coach's Corner this Tuesday night as we host Judd Lutz out there at Benchwarmers Restaurant and Delivery. 6:30 is the start time for the Coach's Corner. We're just about ready for kickoff here, Tommy.
Well, it's going to be such a huge week one for both of these squads. We talked about setting the tone for the season. Both these squads have unenviable meat grinders of a non-conference and conference schedule ahead of them. And, you know, what better litmus test to start off in week one than Fremont Ross and Tiffin Columbian going head-to-head as we get ready for kickoff finally.
All right. The ball is on the tee. They had to have somebody hold it here for Liam Kerr.
That one's going to be fielded right around the 30, Nate.
And brought back to about the 40, maybe the 42-yard line. Great. On the return, Elijah Sagiri.
And there's a little bit of local flavor, even though we're on the road this week between these two teams, as again, two coaches that have been under the Coach Steve Gilbert learning tree over there in Columbia, Coach Judd Lutz and Coach Chad Long, who's the head coach of the Fremont Ross Little Giants. And trust me, that ain't Rick Moranis, Little Giants head coach. I mean, this is Chad Long, who's definitely knows his football, the BG grad and player, and also the Fremont Ross head coach over the past 4 seasons.
9 seasons here at Fremont Ross. Handoff off the right side into the open space and out of bounds is J.D. Moncrief, the senior running back, 5'5", 145. And Tommy, last year, this Columbian Tornadoes defense had a lot of problems bringing this young man down. He really made a statement in that opening win against Tiffin Columbian at Frost Callnow Stadium.
You're going to see similar defenses out of both these squads tonight that kind of may rely on a big presence down front but have super quick backs in the secondary.
Shotgun formation here for the Little Giants. 2 receivers off to the right. Handoff once again off the right side. And I'll tell you what, he may be 5'5", 150 pounds, but this kid is all muscle. As the senior running back fights his way forward. Initial contact was in the backfield, but he fought his way forward and gained a yard out of that, Tommy.
That's what Moncrief gives you, too, is, again, you know, he takes that initial contact, but keeps those legs churning, and it turns out big yards. Like a pass here.
Caden back to pass, steps up, and he's got plenty of running room. He takes off to the 30, 25, to 20, 15, 10, and out of bounds, and he's hit out of bounds. And that's going to be a late hit penalty against the Tornadoes.
Oh, that's going to set him right there at the goal line.
Jack Newlove came in late after the player had already been out of bounds for a couple of steps.
This Carson Caden in his junior campaign, 6'1", 219, big drink of water filling in the shoes here. So again, that's going to be an X factor. Tiffin Columbian's going to have to stay humble towards until they really get that feeling out process and really get a lot more looks at this quarterback in Carson Caden. A lot of big bodies down there for the Fremont Ross Little Giants.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's see if we got Eric down there on the sideline. We'll check in with him after this play here. Moncrief on the handoff, little stutter step at the line, and he falls forward for a couple yards there. Let's check in with our sideline reporter, Eric Hall. Eric, hey, you sounding a little bit better today. How's it going down there, man?
Yeah, you got me? Can you hear me? Am I calling from a tin can today?
It's still a little muffled, but it's not nearly as bad as it was yesterday. We're good today. How's it going, man?
Cool, heck yeah. Hey, it's going, man. We got another awesome night of football down here. Let's see if TC can vanquish this demons and get past Fremont Ross tonight.
Well, this is going to be a tall task as 2nd and goal here at the 3-yard line.
Fremont Ross started this drive around the 35 and wasted no time getting within striking distance, as now they're knocking and they're going to be met right at the line.
Big stop
Moncrief
there
stopped
by Brady Bonnell in the backfield.
On those Bonnells, they know how to tackle. I'll tell you that much.
Especially over here in Fremont.
That's a man that knows did his homework.
Yes, sir.
That's why you're the best in the biz, pal.
Big time down and distance here. 3rd and goal from the 6-yard line. Shotgun, a little bit of a pistol look here. Moncrief behind quarterback Carson Caden. 3 receivers set. Caden fakes the handoff, rolls to his left, has pressure, steps up, delivers into the end zone. What a play by Carson Caden.
On the run.
Fremont Ross.
On the run by Tykel Patterson right there towards the sideline. Finds him in the back of the end zone for a quick score. It's Tiffin Columbian. Man, they had Caden on the run, and Caden made chicken salad out of chicken, you know what.
They had the pressure there initially, but he rolled away because the pressure was there. The rollout was to the left, and as soon as he turned his head, a guy in his face, he twisted his body, turned to the right, and made that A beautiful looking play and fired it into the right corner of the end zone for the touchdown. Extra point attempt is good. It's 7-0 Fremont Ross here. 9:28 left in the first quarter. Tiffin Columbian going to have to play from behind to start this one out.
Fremont Ross wasting no time. 9:28 remaining here in the first quarter of action. Up a score, 7-0 here at home from Don Paul Stadium. We want to thank you once again for watching Heart of Ohio Sports live and paywall free. Again, that's paywall free thanks to our community-minded sponsors, Nate.
That's absolutely right. We have some outstanding sponsors. Let's go ahead and thank them now here. Thank you to Your Legacy Federal Credit Union, Buckeye IT Services, XCARET Mexican Restaurant, Hope in Fostoria, First National Bank of Sycamore, UIS Insurance and Investments, STEINMETZ Signs and Graphic Inc., Lease Floor Covering, Little HUGO'S, 5-Star Maintenance, DAH Wraps, CLOUSE Electric, FEASEL'S Frame and Collision, WEBSTER Industries, Burns Electric, Circle H Tire, BENCHWARMERS Restaurant and Delivery, SARA REISEN, Century 21 BOLTE in Tiffin, and Pit Stop. All proud sponsors with us here on Heart of Ohio Sports. Picked up a couple new sponsors since yesterday, Tommy. I think people were pretty impressed with the broadcast. Of course, it helps when you have a really good game. Calvert, Mohawk, that was a nail-biter all the way to the end of that one last night.
New Love's
Return by
it.
New Love. Runs right into a pair of Fremont Ross Giants at the 30-yard line, falls forward to the 32.
So not going to be two different starting situations for both squads on their opening drives, as once again Fremont Ross started their last drive right around the 35-yard line, made quick work of it for a touchdown. But Tiffin Columbian, especially during the senior campaign by Braden Rogo, you got to come out and you got to strike, and you can't allow this one to turn into a shootout. You got to make the most out of each drive and each possession.
1,700-yard rusher Damian Brockington in the shotgun with Braden Rogo, who fires to the left side. That's complete. Talib Al-Zaquani on the reception up to the 40-yard line. That's good for about 7 yards. Maybe 8. They'll give him the 41. So second and a short 2 coming up for Tiffin Columbian.
Talib Al-Zaquani, Jack Newlove, my man BG3, Brady Gooding. I mean, this receiver core is so talented.
Yeah.
And don't forget the brother, Bryce Rogo, as they send this one off to Brockington.
Beautiful cutback there by Brockington as he got it up past midfield into Little Giants territory down to the 47-yard line.
Brockington, man, who averaged about 7.4 yards per carry last season. The beast himself.
And he's a threat to take it all the way anytime he touches the ball. Al-Zaquani, man in motion. Handoff.
Once again, stutter step.
Brockington on the handoff.
Makes his way up. He gets about
short gain. Yeah, give him about 4, actually.
Yeah,
so that's not bad. That's what you're looking for. Quickly back up to the line. Brockington split out wide now. In the shotgun is Braden Rogo. He slings it out left to Brockington. He's got some room on the outside. Cuts it inside to the 30 and down inside the 30 to the 28-yard line is Damian Brockington.
You see a lot of these squads that are well balanced, and you got just a heavy onslaught in the run game, but you still want to keep that balanced out. So why not put Brockington as a receiving back down there as well? Get him involved, because Brockington in open space, once he turns on the jets, that's a hard load to tackle out in open field.
And another weapon you have to account for in the passing game. I tell you, nice little play there. Whoa. Nice concentration by Bryce Rogo, as initially he didn't quite have it, but juggled it and brought it in there. And he's out of bounds right about the 21-yard line.
Talk about that great concentration. Rogo, he's one of those guys that spends 30 minutes looking at the jug of OJ in the morning because it says concentrate.
2nd and 2 coming up. Ball at the 21-yard line. Pistol formation here for the Tornadoes. Al-Zaquani settles onto the line. Handoff, Brockington, left side, up the middle.
Look at that, open lane.
Some running room, down to the 10-yard line, Damian Brockington. Good for another first down. First downs, of course, brought to you by UIS Insurance and Investments, one of your proud sponsors here on Heart of Ohio Sports. We like that. There, a good one. I like that, Greggy. Greg did such a good job.
I've got plenty of them to just random throughout the games this season.
1st and goal, ball at the 10-yard line. Rogo slings it out right side, complete I believe that is Alzaquani.
16.
Oh, was that Yeah, it was Rogo. Boy, he's put on some weight this year.
The
He's a little
Rogo to
thicker.
Rogo connection.
The Brogo connection there. Down inside the 5 to the 4-yard line.
I mean, both those Rogos are just students of the games, constantly working. Again, you see them up close and personal. They got some size on them. Seen them at the Calvert versus Mohawk game last night.
Shotgun set. Handoff. Brockington up the middle.
Look at that stop by number 9, Tykel Patterson. Huge linebacker coming out of meeting Brockington. As this is what separates the men from the boys down here at the goal line. I mean,
that's a stout defensive front there for
absolutely.
Fremont Ross.
And Tiffin Columbian, they tested their mettle in Fremont Ross's opening drive. Almost had that goal line stand, but that Caden to Patterson on the outside right there on 3rd down. Similar situation here, 3rd and 3.
Rogo going to keep it off the left side, trying to find some
Still
running room,
met.
but nothing there. He's going to be stopped just short of the goal line. About the 2-yard line is where they'll mark him down. So it's decision time here.
Well, that's the thing, too, is you try that keeper. If it doesn't work, you have that 4th down situation. You're just trying to get 1 or 2 yards out of Rogo, because then you can commit to a guy like Brockington, who, again, we talk about his average per carry. If he can't get you right there at the line, I mean.
4th and goal, ball at the 2-yard line. Tornadoes have moved the ball pretty quickly on this drive, but stalled out here. Let's see if they can get this one in. Rogo slings it into the end zone. Touchdown, Tiffin Columbian. Rogo to Rogo, the Brogo connection.
So similar situation as defense started to show its presence. Rogo on the rollout, thought about keeping it, had that defender come up to him, and that allowed the other Rogo to be open in the corner as he got rid of it right at the line, Nate.
Now, Tommy, this isn't something we're used to seeing out of this Columbian special teams unit because take a look at this replay here. Oh, that's beautiful.
There you see it once more.
Little roll out to the right, slings it into the end zone. Beautiful catch there by Rogo, and that extra point is up and no good.
Oh.
From Liam Kerr.
We've seen in our season premiere of Heart of Ohio Sports what those missed extra points can do to you, as Calvert was able to hold on in a nail-biter against the Mohawk Warriors, and that 14-12 affair that wound up that way off of a missed extra point attempt and a missed 2-point conversion. So when you know you're gonna go on the road and you know you're gonna be battle tested in week 1 against a team like Fremont Ross, these games that are gonna come down to the wire, those extra points make all the difference at the end.
They really do. Seven to 6, Fremont leading Tiffin Columbian. Tornadoes with a nice answer drive there, but unable to capitalize on the extra point at the end, so it's still a 1-point ball game.
That's exactly how last night started off.
Yes. It was a little later when the scoring started, though. They didn't start till the second quarter.
Well, that's the thing, Nate, is again, you almost don't want to see this one turn into a shootout. Both teams seemingly at will were able to work their offense, put a nice drive together. I believe that was an 8-play drive.
Mm-hmm.
That got them into the end zone there. Fremont Ross did it in about 6. I mean, strap in, folks. This one's going to be a fun one.
Get your popcorn ready. Kerr on the kickoff, fielded at the 14-yard line.
Oh, this is going to look like a nice return. Oh, no.
Cut down is Jadrian Brown.
Jadrian Brown is the axe that fell. The beanstalk here in Don Paul Stadium on that kickoff. It could have went for more, as there was a lot of open room.
Yeah, it looked like there was some room there, but nice job by that TC special teams unit delivering the boom. It's got to feel a little bit retro for some of these TC fans seeing a 34 at middle linebacker named Bonnell, you know? Caden back to
linebacker
pass,
off the edge.
steps up into the pocket, cut down from behind, but he gains about 5 yards up to the 35-yard line.
That's Braylon Allball, again, another defensive name in the Columbian annals of time. 6 foot, 232. Definitely
It's
a
about one
different.
of those one-by-one Lego blocks you were talking about yesterday.
There's a lot of those on that defensive line that we're looking at right now. Ethan Reynolds, 11. He's a junior, 6'1", 267.
4 receiver set here for the Little Giants. Caden, handoff, Moncrief bounces it. Oh, what a move by Moncrief. And he's out into the open, out of bounds.
Good block.
And I don't know if you can call that because he initiated the contact with the defender there. So, I mean, I know all the fans wanted that call, but he put his shoulder into the defender as he went out of bounds there.
Well, look at the big athletic move by Moncrief as Tornadoes read that one, crashed inside, knowing it was going to come up that A gap, and Moncrief made the wise decision to cut it back, found the corner, got the blocks. That was the amazing thing, is just kind of how all that came together. As you got that amazing view up here from the press box in Don Paul Stadium, as it's just beautiful facilities here.
Caden back to pass, loading up, going long. He's got a man deep, but he overthrows.
I like the throw.
His intended receiver. Absolutely.
I think, again, it almost looked like Jadrian Brown was kind of looking for it a little bit instead of just keeping up with it. Look back for the ball. Sometimes that will put you a step behind, and that's all it takes against this Columbian defense.
Yeah, you're never supposed to look back. You look up for the ball as a receiver. But Jadrian Brown, he looked like he might have had a step there, and that might be a play they might go to later on in the game. Because
again, I like the ball placement by Carson Caden as Fremont Ross right around midfield now.
Tornadoes show blitz. They bring blitz. Moncrief hit in the backfield, driven backwards, and stopped for a loss. It's going to be a 1-yard loss on the play as blocking broke down up front.
Braylon Allbull is doing his best clumsy criminal impression, putting his fingerprints all over this one. It's another big tackle by the defensive lineman.
Four-man front here for the Tornadoes. 4 receiver set for the Little Giants. 3rd and 11. That should.
I was gonna say, come on now.
He was set. And that's going to be a false start on the running back.
And on 3rd down, bringing it 3rd and 16 now. After the 1-yard loss on the previous play, as Allball blew that one up. This is what you want to see out of the defense. Force those down and distance situations against a quarterback that's not comfortable in that situation. Because, again, in those short distance situations, those 3rd and manageable situations, Nate, it's a lot easier for a quarterback than these long ones. You really have to have some composure, and we're going to see where that composure lies for Carson Caden here.
Tornadoes bring the blitz. Caden slings it out. Moncrief on the reception, but he's going to be brought down just past the original line of scrimmage. So
well, here
we're going to be about 8 yards short of the first down here. Punt unit coming onto the field.
I was going to say, here at the 45, the way that Fremont moves this ball, is this 4-down territory in their mind? But they are going to elect to punt. Bring out that big defensive line.
And you know that if you're a fan of Fremont Ross, you like this call because after giving up that touchdown drive, Coach Chad Long saying, I trust you, defense. I trust you here. I know that was a fluke. That's not going to happen again. You're going to get me the ball back. So I like this call. Punt hits down at the 20-yard line.
Oh, that's going to keep taking a nice, friendly Fremont Ross Little Giant bounce.
Everybody in the stands was screaming for someone from Fremont Ross to jump on the ball
Because I think
it touched a tornado when it initially came down.
You want to see if we can catch that?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's see if we got the replay on that because it was really close. I'll tell you that much.
So after the nice
Very
Fremont
close.
Ross
It was very close.
Little Giant bounce, almost a coffin kick, falls short.
Like right there.
Yeah.
You couldn't really see, but it was close. So,
Very close.
so I can see why they were saying that, but
Nevertheless, Tornadoes.
the refs have the best view.
You're also not used to sitting on the home side on the away. So you got to be like, hey, I guess I am convinced that happened.
Shotgun set here for the Tornadoes. Little pistol look. Handoff, Brockington up the middle.
Brockington met.
Couple of yards on the carry.
It was like Ryan Hottinger.
Up to about the 12-yard line. Dominic Brown also in on the play.
That's a Ryan.
I like the refs there letting that one go. They know how physical both of these teams are, so they weren't going to blow an early whistle there.
3 receiver set. Brockington split out wide, makes it 4 receivers. Talib Al-Zaquani in the backfield. Rogo brings a man in motion. That's Bryce Rogo. Settles into the slot. 3 off to the right. Rogo back to pass. Slings it over the middle. And it's picked off. Intercepted at the 20, the 15, 10, 5, and touchdown. Oh, no, they're going to say out of bounds. They're going to say he was out of bounds at the 2, maybe the 1-yard line.
Let's take a look at that.
I don't know what the miscommunication was there. Just an overthrow by Rogo with their shadow and with their back in the shadow of their own goalposts. Throws the interception to Jadrian Brown.
He was just out of the end.
Tornadoes coaches are upset. They're saying that the receiver was being held on the play. That's why he wasn't in the area to make the play. I mean, it was just awkward. You don't see him throw a pass where there's nobody around. The guy's an Akron commit. He's an accurate quarterback. So for that pass to not have any target near it, it just means that his receiver was held up somewhere.
Here's the thing. As you go into that maturation process and you go into the next level, you're going to have to make those calls on the fly. You got to count that your guy's not going to be there and not fall into those pitfalls that young quarterbacks often do.
First and goal at the 1.
And it allowed a Columbian turnover
Hand
there.
off Moncrief into the end zone, touchdown.
Moncrief just marches right in, capitalizing off the turnover. And in these closely contested games, points off turnovers, missed extra points, they all add up. And you see it right there as Fremont now takes the lead 13-6.
Wow. Big time answer there for Fremont Ross. And that's what you're talking about, Tommy. I said, if you're Coach Long, you're saying, I trust you, defense. And look what the defense did. They come out, they get a turnover, and now they have 6 more points on the board with the potential to make it 7 here.
A phenomenal defensive stand. As Fremont Ross forces the turnover.
Extra point attempt is up, and it is good. Steven Ryder knocks it through, and it is 14-6, Fremont Ross, with 1:29 left to play here in the first quarter. Timeouts tonight brought to you by Hope in Fostoria. First National Bank of Sycamore is your scoreboard sponsor, as we'll take a look at the scoreboard from around the area momentarily here in just a little bit, but we'll be doing that periodically throughout the night. That's brought to you by First National Bank of Sycamore. First Downs tonight brought to you by UIS Insurance and Investments. We'll check in with Eric Hall here in just a little bit for the weather report brought to you by STEINMETZ Signs and Graphic Inc. Keys to the game brought to you by Lee's Floor Covering. Little HUGO'S is our player of the game sponsor. And Benchwarmers Restaurant and Delivery brought you the opening kickoff for tonight's game. Also, stick around for the halftime show brought to you by Buckeye IT Services. We'll have the marching band performances for both teams. And stick around for the postgame show brought to you by Your Legacy Federal Credit Union. All proud sponsors with us here on Heart of Ohio Sports.
I'm seeing both squads on display throughout the first 12 minutes of this one as the kick is underway.
Bryce Eastep kicks it off. New Love fields it at the 14. Trying to find some running room. He's got a little bit of blocking to the outside. And New Love has it up past the 40 to the 43-yard line. Nice return there by the TC Special Teams unit.
And that was some nice blocking by the return team. Seen Damian sprinting one, change him to Damian Blockington. But that's the thing. Now you've seen both these squads on display. Week 1, we forget it's week 1 because both these offenses, both these squads look pretty polished during the opening stanza, but that may be the difference maker too, is who's going to make the least amount of those week 1 mistakes. Is that going to be what proves to be the difference here? Rogo in the gun.
Slings it out left side. New Love on the reception.
That's a nice
Has it up
block.
to the 45 to the 50. Inside Little Giants territory down to the 49-yard line. Nice little pitch and catch there. Good for 9. We'll give him about 8 on the play. They'll mark it at midfield. Second down and 2 coming up. And we are inside of a minute to play here in the first quarter.
You got to have a short memory in this game as this offense already coming out looking to answer, not trying to get in their own head as
Brockington handoff. He's got the first down. He's got it up near the 45, close to about the 46-yard line is where they'll mark him down.
If you're just tuning in, you're watching Heart of Ohio Sports Week 1, Tiffin Columbian versus Fremont Ross, live and paywall free. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Tell your friends that you're watching this game paywall free right here on Heart of Ohio Sports.
Brockington, the man in motion. They sling it out to him on the right side. He's got a little bit of blocking, but that play just never really developed there. That's a really long developing play, and there's just not enough blockers out in front. They almost needed to pull a couple linemen if they wanted to make that happen.
And that's the thing about this Fremont Ross defense, just able to shed blocks. And
all right, that's the end of the first quarter. Your score, Fremont 14, Tiffin 6. We'll step aside, take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching Heart of Ohio Sports.
We're watching high school football on Heart of Ohio Sports.
Why go to Lee's Floor Covering in Tiffin? Because at Lee's Floor Covering, they know that selecting the right flooring for your home can be overwhelming. They make choosing the right items for your home simple. At Lee's Floor Covering, they have one of the largest selections of floor covering in Northwest Ohio, including Abbey Carpet and Floor. Stop in and see for yourself what everyone raves about at Lee's Floor Covering in Tiffin.
At Heart of Ohio Sports, it's obvious. The first thing that comes to mind is sports. But we do a lot more than just cover live sporting events.
Go, go, go!
When we want to watch our highlights from last night's game, there's only one place we go, Heart of Ohio Sports.
And we're back here at Don Paul Stadium in Fremont, Ohio. Braden Rogo takes the snap, going to keep it himself, and decides to slide down, and a little bit of a business decision there as he gets it up to about the 43-yard line. 3rd down and 7 coming up here for the Tornadoes.
Third and 7 for the Tornadoes, and it's been tough sledding getting this offense going after the score by Tiffin Columbian. And their ensuing offensive possession turned the ball over with a pick that Fremont Ross ended up turning into points.
Fake the handoff. Rogo looking. He gets hit as he throws. Ball's out. Alzaquani falls on top of it back at the 40-yard line. And the pressure was there. He had no chance, Tommy. The coverage was there down the field. Pressure was there as soon as he tried to throw the ball.
And Purple People Eater gobble up Rogo in the backfield. Bryce Rogo, no go on that one as he's just crushed in the pocket. Whew. Nice heads-up play by Alzaquani to fall on that one to at least get the Tornadoes a chance to flip the field now.
Boom. Braylon Auble with the punt. Fair catch called for at the 21-yard line. And that's where Fremont Ross will take over. Owen Shanahan on the return, well, the catch of the return. Little Giants will take over at the 21, leading 14-6. 10:27 left here in the second quarter. And I tell you, this Little Giants offense, last time they were on the field, just an easy 1-yard score. But the time before that, Tiffin Columbian was able to come up with a stop.
Well, this is going to be the worst field position for Fremont Ross to start a drive. here thus far tonight. Tornadoes flip the field. Let's see what they do with it now.
Three receivers on the left side of the formation. Caden in the shotgun. Takes the snap. Handoff up the middle, and nothing doing there for Zaylen Harris. He's going to be met and dropped. They're going to say no gain. Looked like he was hit behind the line, but managed to make it back. Once again, folks, make sure you tune in this Tuesday night as we've got Coach Judd Lutz out at Benchwarmers Restaurant and Delivery for the Coach's Corner. Tune in right around 6:30 for that one.
See how that conversation goes after the 48 minutes here tonight.
Caden looking to pass.
All the time in the world.
Options, throws it, and it's picked off! Intercepted by Tiffin Columbian at the 40-yard line. A.J. Hickman with the interception. And Tiffin Columbian says turnabout is fair game.
Again, just the receiver out of sync with the quarterback. Kind of did like a spin looking back inside for it. Went over the intended receiver's head, as you see right there.
It's the first real mistake we've seen from the junior Caden.
And that's the thing is Columbian wasn't able to get the pressure. Caden had the time, and then when the big hog molly from Columbian was able to get some penetration and start putting that pressure, he put those big old bear paws up and forced a mistake.
Shotgun formation here for the Tornadoes. Three receivers set, wing back on the right. Alzaquani now motioning to the left. Handoff to Brockington. Out of the backfield, bursts his way forward near the first down marker. They'll say he's down just a yard shy at the 31-yard line. I think what we've seen so far here today, this Fremont Ross defense came into this one prepared for the pass game, Tommy. They knew that they were going to see a heavy dose of this air attack. Tiffin Columbian, when they've tried to run the ball, they've had some success here today.
Well, it might be time for a little shot of vitamin B, as Brockington definitely breathes new life into this offense every time he gets his hands on the rock.
Handoff, Brockington.
He breathes new life into this team every time he gets the rock.
Inside the 20, down to the 16-yard line.
Oh, man.
Damian Brockington.
Need more of that.
Showing off that burst.
Fremont Ross.
The stop and go there, Tommy. He was kind of trapped where the play was designed, but he said, you know what? No, let's go this way.
Well, Brockington ain't afraid to challenge the lane, and that's what these Fremont Ross defenders have heavily relied on, is they've been able to shed blocks quickly.
Pitch out to the right for Brockington.
And that time they take it to the outside.
Inside the 5 and inside the end zone. Touchdown, Tiffin Columbian.
Forcing the issue after the turnover on their last drive. Tiffin Columbian gets a turnover themselves on defense. Knew how imperative it was to get points off that turnover. And you know what? They just threw the script out the window and decided, you know what? Let's just hand the ball off on this drive, on this gift that Fremont Ross gave us, and see if we can make points out of it. And sure as heck, they did just that in quick fashion. 4 plays. Columbian find Pater off the interception. And now looking to go for 2.
Fake the handoff, sling it out right. Rogo to Rogo, and the 2-point conversion is good.
That's tie ball game now.
We're tied at 14 apiece.
What a way to, just sling that out of the screen to that Brogo connection. And then as he's making his way towards the edge, if you're not going to get it, what a way to extend himself out and hit that pylon to ensure that they get inside there. So now a tie ball game after Tiffin Columbian shot themselves in the foot earlier with a turnover, resulted in points for the Little Giants. That's where Fremont got the lead. But a miscommunication by Fremont Ross on the turnover, thanks to A.J. Hickman, has now given new life to this Columbian team and also tied this ball game. 8:23 remaining in the first half. You're watching live right here on Heart of Ohio Sports, the pulse of the Buckeye State.
We are tied up once again, 14 apiece in this rivalry matchup here. And I'll tell you, these teams, these last few years, it's really kind of rekindled this rivalry. As Fremont Ross, Chad Long, of course, the Clyde alum, Heidelberg, or I'm sorry, not BGSU alum, but then
Don't forget his hardest job he ever had, teaching me.
yes. And a flag on the play. Not sure what the flag is about. We'll see. Some kind of an illegal procedure.
You just love how this Fremont Ross team, since Coach Long in his 9 seasons here has taken the helm, how this team doesn't rebuild. They just reload each and every season. And this has been a really tough Fremont Ross Little Giant squad.
Was that a delay of game?
Something happened there. They're back in
Here
the
to start
sure.
the 2023
I think
campaign.
there was a delay of game on a kickoff. I didn't even know there was a play clock on a kickoff. There must be a time limit. Like, all right, guys, it's been like 5 minutes. Come on, let's go.
Wait for that call from Coach Lento and explain it to us.
Letting loose with Lento. Liam Kerr kicks it off, fielded at the 16-yard line.
Not the guy who went on the return as
Coverage unit there to
Very
make the
athletic.
play.
Jadrian Brown unable to make anything out of that return. Not the worst starting field position, though, for the Little Giants with the ball on the 30.
Tommy, did you catch the kickoff party at XCARET Mexican restaurant?
Oh, I tell you what.
You missed out on some good food.
Lento
man.
did.
Yeah, the Fundito. But the way you guys were able to take that challenge on short notice, and Lisette and her staff out there accommodating, what a great turnout, what a great show that was. And can't thank XCARET Mexican Restaurant for just being one of the best local sponsors that really support the athletics and pretty much everything the schools do around the area.
And anything that we do around the area. She absolutely loves doing business with us as we love doing business with them. And a timeout called by Fremont Ross. Of course, timeout's brought to you by Hope in Fostoria. Let's talk about XCARET Mexican Restaurant. They are a staple in the Tiffin community. Stop in and check out their new look menu with some delicious new items you have to try for yourself, folks. If you've tried the Ohio State burrito, if you're a Michigan fan, you probably haven't. Well, guess what? They have a Michigan one now. So you should go out there and try it. And maybe if you're a fan of both, or obviously you're not a fan of both, but if you're a fan of both of the different styles of burrito, you can chime in and say which one's actually better based on taste, not on the name. Either way, gather your friends. Go get some queso. You deserve it. Treat yourself to the best at XCARET Mexican Restaurant located in the Tiffin Mall.
Heard that Michigan burrito, that's good all year long, while the other Michigan's only good till November.
Shotgun set here. Carson Caden, first down and 10. Handoff. And the defense there to make the stop. Stood up and maybe got a yard. Zaylen Harris on the carry. And conspicuous by his absence, Tommy, we've not seen much of J.D. Moncrief since those opening couple of drives. It's been Zaylen Harris these last 2 drives here. I'm wondering if Moncrief's okay, because he did take a hit towards the end of a play out of bounds. We'll check in with Eric Hall here after this play to see maybe if he has some kind of an update on that situation with J.D. Moncrief, the starting running back for Fremont Ross. Maybe he might have a little bit of update on it. His jersey's number is number 1. So maybe if you see him sitting along the sideline with a trainer or something, you could let us know, because I don't have a good view of the Fremont sideline. Caden back to pass, slings it over the middle. It's complete. Nice reception there.
Nice one-on-one move in open
after
space.
The catch by Tykel Patterson. You want to talk about fight. That kid had a lot of fight after he caught that ball. He was about 4 yards short of the first, but he fought his way forward and battled for those extra yards and picked up the first down. All right, let's check in with Eric Hall. Let's see how he's doing along the sidelines. We'll do that after this play here. I don't want to miss any of the action here. But
Fremont Ross just
right back up to the line. They're ready to go.
And try to invite the defense in again. And you find something over the middle.
Caden back to pass, slings it out left side, complete. And up towards the 45, about the 46-yard line is where he'll be driven out of bounds.
What, about a quiet 4 yards?
Yeah, Owen Shanahan on the reception. Let's check in with Eric Hall, our sideline reporter. Eric, do you have any kind of an update on what's going on with number 1, J.D. Moncrief?
No, I don't, Nate. I've been looking over at the sidelines. I can't find his jersey number over there, so I don't know if he's maybe back in the locker room with trainers. I'll keep an eye on their sideline to see if I can find him. Austin thinks she might have found him over there. Does he have his helmet on over there? I still don't see him. He's got his helmet on the sideline.
Defense finding the quarterback in the
Nobody
backfield.
there. There's nobody anywhere near that ball. That should have been a
intentional ground.
I mean, I know he's outside the tackle box. That's probably why they didn't call that flag. So that's a good call by the ref. But either way, we'll check in with you guys here in a minute and see if maybe you have an update. All right, Eric, thanks again.
I think that was Bonnell on the pursuit.
Actually,
Forcing the bad throw by Caden.
Wasn't that 35? That's A.J. Bonnell and Brady Bonnell, both of them out there. 34-35.
I say you can't get it wrong.
Wow, you can't get it wrong.
Throw a rock, one of them's in the backfield.
Caden back to pass, slings it.
Oh, that one just fell into the dirt.
He skipped it in there to his intended target.
You needed that on third down.
Yeah, that's a big fourth down coming up here, and they're going to bring out the punt unit, Tommy.
That would have moved the chains. Well thrown, or receiver was wide open on an island by himself, just thrown into the dirt. Lived to play another down as now Fremont Ross. Nice job by Columbian forcing the punt unit to come on, but more importantly and more impressively, in my opinion, starting to get that pressure on Carson Caden.
Yeah, absolutely.
Trying to get the young.
High snap over the punter's head. He's going to have to pick it up and try to do something.
Oh, nice
He just goes down back at the 15-yard line. Tiffin Columbian catches a break. Offense will take over at the Fremont Ross 15-yard line.
And Johnny Braymeyer with what could be the play of the game on special teams. Now will give the Columbian offense delicious field position to start this drive. Almost as delicious as our post-game sponsor, Little HUGO'S.
So good.
Play the game.
So tasty.
So good and tasty.
Pistol set here for the Tornadoes. Handoff, Damian Brockington. Spins out of a tackle. Buries his way forward to about the 11-yard line. Good for 4 yards. Down to 6 minutes to play here in the first half. Make sure you stick around for the halftime show, brought to you by Buckeye IT Services, one of our proud presenting sponsors here on Heart of Ohio Sports.
Here's the thing. You're so effective with running right now. I mean, do you allow that itchy trigger finger to try to put you in a different look, or do you continue with what was working? As they're going to go with a different look here.
Rogo keeps it up the middle, nothing doing. Just a little bit too much hesitation there from Rogo as he was trying to find the right alley there. There just wasn't really anything there to choose from.
That was a tremendous read by Ross.
Big number 74.
They didn't see Brockington off the hip, able to come up. Normally I would indicate that they were going to pass it, but no, that option keeper.
Dominic Brown on the stop for the Little Giants. 4 receiver set, 3rd and 7.
That was a quick 3rd and 7.
Brockington motions into the backfield. Now they're going to loop him into the back. Now they throw it out to the left side. Rogo all by himself. Touchdown, Tiffin Columbian.
What a play design that was to get him to
Boy,
bite.
they had the defense's eyes in the backfield with Brockington because they set that up earlier, and they got Rogo all by himself in the corner of the end zone. And the Tornadoes, after trailing by 8, have come back to take the lead, 20-14
As you
with
see
4:51 left here in the first half.
Brockington in motion.
Yep, getting everybody's attention there on the motion.
Then
Everybody's
the
looking at him.
pursuit comes that way, leaving Rogo on the outs, on an island.
Beautiful.
Just makes that slant to the outside and finds the open man, the Brogo connection. Another score, and you better get used to it.
Kick is up, kick is good, but hang on.
Hearing a lot of that.
Offsides on the defense. I believe that's the call. Offsides. Columbian will decline. They'll go ahead and keep the points on the board. Well, they're not up there yet, but they will be. Maybe. We'll see. Yeah. Well, if they declined it, then why do they have to re-kick it? Yeah, I'm like, okay. I guess they have to re-kick it. I don't get that. Like, all right.
Doesn't make much sense. Though.
Yeah.
Lento, where you at?
Maybe because it happened before the snap. And that's what happens right there. Instead of there being a point on the board, I just don't understand how that somebody explain that to me, hopefully in the comments, because I would think that, I mean, I don't know. Because after an if the defense is offsides on an offensive play, you can decline the penalty if you get a touchdown, right? And the touchdown still counts. That's why I'm like,
Depends
what
if they
does
called it a dead ball or not.
Is it different on the kick? Yeah, because they stopped the play, Tommy. They did. They stopped. They blew the whistles to blow it dead.
Yeah.
It must have been a dead ball foul. Yeah, you're right. So nonetheless, I mean, those are that's a valuable point. That's off the board now. 20-14, Tiffin Columbian leading by 6.
It's just such a tricky call because, I mean, what keeps you from wanting to do that anyway?
Uh-huh. Exactly. Yeah, if you're the other team and you're lining up to block the kick, I'd line up offsides every time because if he makes it, well, they just decline it and the points are off the board. Kerr with the kickoff through the returner's hands, and he's going to have to pick this up and run. Nope, they're going to say because it went into the end zone.
He touched it before.
Well, no, that's the rule. If it goes into the end zone, it's a touchback no matter what. No matter what. In high school football, if it goes into the end zone, touchback. You can't even take it out if you catch it in the end zone. Defensive offsides is a dead ball play. Is that what that said?
Quite a few people were talking. Yeah, it was a dead ball.
Oh, encroachment. Well, they called offside. I'll have to spend some time with an official. Denny Olt will have to break that down for me because I just still am not understanding how it's a dead ball penalty because, well, in the normal field of play, if he's offside, it's not dead ball. How is it different when it's a kicking play?
Columbian spreads the defense, and yet Fremont Ross still able to find that pitch and catch right there with Tykel Patterson. It's a huge gain.
Oh, because he was in the neutral zone. That's what it was. Yeah. Slings it over the middle. Caden, complete. Broken tackle. And a nice play there by Owen Shanahan as he shakes that first tackle and picks up the first down, and they move it down to midfield.
Ain't a bad call there to, put these receivers on a quick route and challenge that in open space.
Right back up to the line.
Give your athletic receiver core a chance.
Caden back to pass.
Look at all the time.
Pressure, steps up, delivers it down the field. Picked off! Intercepted once again by Tiffin Columbian. Jack Newlove comes up to make the play.
Another turnover by the Little Giants.
Another interception thrown by Caden here in the first half. Tornadoes will take over at the 38-yard line with a 6-point lead and 4:27 left here in the first half.
Again, you talk about those week one mistakes. If you're going to go into that kind of hurry-up mode, again, you got to be able to check through your progressions, find your read. On that one, quarterback just got a little over-anxious there, threw a bad throw as Brockington's going to take this one, and he's going to be met right there at the line by Hottinger. He had about one on the play.
Ball at the 38. Bryce Rogo out wide to the left. Braden Rogo in the shotgun. Rogo back to pass. Slings it over the middle. He's got Brady Gooding at the 30. He's gone. 10-5 touchdown, Tiffin Columbian. BG3 takes it all the way. A 62-yard touchdown pass from Braden Rogo to Brady Gooding. Woo!
There's a replay there. BG3 out there on an island. And that's the thing about this Columbian offense, is they can definitely humble a defense because they have so many weapons that, when you're trying to attack the run, then they hit you with the pass, over the top. I mean, it's, like I said, it's humbling. You got to keep on your toes if you're this Fremont Ross defense. And now more points off of turnovers has definitely tipped the scales early in this one, as we're about 3:45 away from the end of this first half, and now Tiffin Columbian have found themselves in the driver's seat.
Rogo keeps it into the end zone for the 2-point conversion, and it's a 14-point ball game now. Tiffin Columbian leading 28-14. 3:45 left here in the first half. Wow.
The defense has definitely been the difference maker on the Tornado side of things.
22 unanswered points.
Allowing this talented Columbian offense to just go to work with the nice real estate that's set before them. Defense definitely sets the table for this offense.
Yeah.
And then Rogo and company, they just got to come out and eat.
That's right. That's absolutely right, Tommy.
It's kind of like what our friends at XCARET do for us every time we go out there. They'll set the table up for us, and then all you got to do is eat.
That's right. Stick around for the halftime show, brought to you by Buckeye IT Services, a trusted partner for IT solutions in Northwest Ohio. They're serving customers with commercial, residential, and municipal needs. They start by building a relationship with you and your company. At Buckeye IT Services, they want to know your pain points with technology and what you need to help your business succeed. They work with you to tailor a solution of best practices and new state-of-the-art equipment to eliminate IT pain for your business. Visit BuckeyeIT.com to schedule your initial consultation today. Kerr on the kickoff, and that one's going to go out of bounds. So the Little Giants will take over at their own 35-yard line after the illegal procedure on the kicking unit. It's just absolutely beautiful day for football, especially after, yesterday we had the little bit of storms. We were dealing with it up until kickoff, and then once kickoff started, we didn't have any problems with weather after that. It was awesome. But tonight, sunshine and bright here at Don Paul Stadium, 75 degrees. We'll check in with Eric Hall here in just a minute for the weather report brought to you by STEINMETZ Signs and Graphic Inc. Caden slings it out left side, and that is incomplete.
A little underthrown?
Yeah.
It's to the wrong part of the field, it seemed.
I'm not sure who that was intended for, because there was two receivers in the area, but it was kind of in the middle of both of them.
I think this one just kind of slipped out of his hand a little bit.
All right, let's check in with our sideline reporter, Eric Hall. He's got the weather report brought to you by STEINMETZ Signs and Graphic Inc. How's it going, Eric?
Doing good, guys. We got awesome weather down here. It's 72 degrees. Sun's getting ready to go down about 8:30, and this breeze feels awesome down here. So we got an awesome night of football again.
And there's J.D. Moncrief as he's hit and met in the backfield, driven back. 2-yard loss on the play.
And the Moncrief run is brief. as Azokwani comes in and cleans him up, welcomes him back to the game.
Yeah, I think that's, Tommy, that's one thing that's really been missing from this TC defense the last few years. Not saying anything about these guys that's playing these positions, but linebackers. They really haven't had those dominant linebackers that really set the tone at the line of scrimmage. And these guys are really, they're setting the tone early here. Caden back to pass, steps up, holding on the play. He's going to take off and run, and he's going to be brought down past the line of scrimmage up to about the 35, maybe the 36. They'll give him the 37. But a flag on the play. Most likely he's going to bring this one back as they would have had some pressure, but the defender was held up.
Yeah, as Carson Caden living out a...
And they're going to decline the penalty and take the result, which is an upcoming 4th down and 8.
Living a 49ers dream, just buried in gold as he tried to get out of the pocket on that one, but the holding penalty moves Fremont Ross back and also forces them to punt in this 4th down situation. 4th and 8.
And the punt is away. Punter thought he got the call there, but really, if anything, he ran into the guy instead of the guy running into him. So but he punted it, but then he kind of pirouetted towards the defender that was coming towards him. 28-14, Tiffin Columbian leading with 2:26 left here in the first half, and they take over at their own 20-yard line. Last time they were on the field, a 62-yard bomb from Braden Rogo to Brady Gooding. Put him up by 2 scores. Now let's see what they do here with a pistol set. Brockington in the backfield, 3 receivers off to the right. Brockington with a pitch out to the right. Breaks the tackle. Buries his head forward and picks up about 5.
Like I said, I always love the challenge out in open field once Brockington's trying to find the edge. Once he gets out in open space, you know, you love watching those one-on-one situations. But Fremont Ross, nice pursuit to the ball, able to stop that one before it went for more as Brockington halves the distance to the markers.
Give a shout out to our camera guy, Connor Roush, getting some great angles here today as Rogo slings that one out left. I think that was intended for New Love, but I think he was a little bit too far in on the route. And it's an incomplete pass. That'll bring up 3rd down, 3rd and 5 at the 25-yard line.
Blake Shock, he did a pretty good job, even though at 5'10", trying to get his hands up against the big Rogo, and it was enough to force a bad little throw there.
4 receivers set. Alzaquani in the backfield with Braden Rogo. Takes the snap. Rogo back to pass. Pressure. Steps up. Takes off.
Rogo's going to be
brought down right at the line of scrimmage.
That's Hottinger.
No gain on the play. And that'll bring out the punt unit. So a big stand there by that Fremont Ross defense. That's exactly what they needed. After giving up 22 unanswered points here, they come up with a stop.
A minute and 32 to make something happen. You got one timeout in your back pocket. I mean, you can make a lot happen with a minute and 32 seconds, Nate.
Yeah. Oh, that's plenty of time. I just got to talk about this field, Tommy.
Then we
this
watched
field is just so beautiful.
Then we watched this same squad about 2 years ago trade like 3 scores within a span of 38 seconds.
Oh, absolutely.
That's the same game.
Well, we weren't here for that game 2 years ago when, I mean, Columbian was leading by 16 with about 4.5 minutes left in the game, and Fremont came back and won that game on a last-second play, like the last second.
So again, I tell you, this one's going to come down to the wire. It normally always does. It's just Fremont Ross with this different look this year after graduating a ton of tremendous talent. Relying on young Carson Caden in his junior campaign to get his footing and
got the kickoff there, but got laundry on the field.
be interesting to see who this is on. 4th and 5 situation. Move the Tornadoes back, actually.
Punt unit on the field. I think that's Braylon Auble back deep to punt for Tiffin Columbian. Got a nice one away the first time. Here's another good punt. Fair catch called for at the 44-yard line. Shanahan on the reception there. And Little Giants, after the defensive stop, will take over with some really good field position here. Ball at the 45-yard line.
Yeah, absolutely. We kind of wondered minute and 32 seconds if that was long enough, but minute 26 with the ball on the 45, and you got a big athletic group in these Fremont Ross Little Giants. I think Carson Caden can be up for the task, cut the deficit before the end of the half, and try to turn the complexion of this ball game.
Yeah. Big opportunity here for the Little Giants to cut into that lead before halftime. 4 receivers set. Carson, Caden, handoff, Moncrief, and that's going to be about a 2-yard gain.
We've had a couple of turnovers, but that's an interesting first down play.
Caden, back to pass, rolls to his left, met by the defender, shakes the tackle, and he's going to be out of bounds. Close to the first down marker, about the 46-yard line is where they'll mark him out, but that's about a yard shy of the first. Stops the clock with a minute to play here in the first half. The Little Giants back up to the line here.
I was going to say
timeout. Yeah, that's a wise timeout called there by Judd Lutz, as he saw something in the offense he didn't like the way his defense was lined up to. And he said, nope, you know what? Let's go ahead and talk this over, guys. Come on. Let's talk.
Well, what's the biggest situational on 3rd and 1? If you're Fremont Ross, you got one timeout remaining. If you decide to run, then that might be the time to you can either hurry up, get back on the ball and call that last timeout, and have a few shots at the end zone, or you go from the line of scrimmage here and just try to complete the pass, get out of bounds, and reset the chains real quick, then give yourself a whole new fresh set of downs and use that timeout after a huge play. I mean, there's a couple things you got to account for defensively, so that was a nice timeout by Judd Lutz and company.
That timeout brought to you by Hope and Fostoria. Handoff to Moncrief up the middle, and not a whole lot of running. Well, you got the first down up to the 40-yard line. So
yeah, that's a great run.
That's a first down pickup. Of course, first down's brought to you by,
I was going to say, then you got to go no huddle.
UIS Insurance and Investments. Chains are set. Clock starts to roll. 50 seconds left. Caden takes the snap. Slings it out right side. Completes it to his receiver. Breaks a tackle. Breaks another tackle. And he's going to be brought down at the 25-yard line. Nice moves there by Jadrian Brown.
Yeah, the zone kills you.
Yeah. 4 receivers set. 3 on the near side, 1 on the far. Carson Caden in the shotgun.
He's got to count for everybody doing their
Slings
job.
Slings it over the middle, tipped at the line, and incomplete. I don't know who got their big paws up there. I don't know whether that was Big 66, Ethan Reynolds, or big number 69, Maximus Fortney. Or no, I'm sorry, that was 56. It was either 66 or 56. So Braylon Auble or Ethan Reynolds. Second down and 10, 24 seconds left here in the first half. Little Giants looking to move the ball here into the end zone, cut this deficit down to just a 1-score deficit here before the halftime. Handoff to Moncrief, spin move at the line, spins forward, and he picks up about 6 inside the 20 to the 19-yard line. And Ross will call their final timeout here. Timeout's brought to you by Hope in Fostoria. We'll use this time to thank our sponsors for bringing you tonight's ball game. Special thanks and a shout out to our presenting sponsors, Your Legacy Federal Credit Union, Buckeye IT, and XCARET Mexican Restaurant. We also want to thank Hope in Fostoria, First National Bank of Sycamore, UIS Insurance and Investments, STEINMETZ Signs and Graphic Inc., Lease Floor Covering, Little HUGO'S, 5-Star Maintenance, DAH Wraps, CLOUSE Electric, FEASEL'S Frame and Collision, Webster Industries, Burns Electric, Circle H Tire, Benchwarmers Restaurant and Delivery, SARA REISEN, Century 21 BOLTE and Tiffin, and Pit Stop. All proud sponsors with us here on Heart of Ohio Sports. Picked up 4 new sponsors since last night, Tommy. People watching the broadcast and said, hey, I want to be in. Into the end zone. Brockington with the interception. And that's a disappointing end.
I'm not
to
so
that
sure
drive.
that Columbian defender wasn't holding up the receiver, kind of a la what we seen earlier in the game, to where, again, man wasn't even given a shot to get in.
Watch,
We'll
number
see
9
right
here.
We'll see if his...
Oh, I don't know about that.
Yeah.
It just barely even touched him.
Barely, but the ball was pretty far out there. Yeah.
That ball wasn't even anywhere near him. It looked like he threw it to Brockington in that situation. I didn't know. When he let go of that ball, I didn't know who he was throwing it to. Because I knew Brockington lined up like, oh, this is mine. I got this.
Oh, Eli Appletug.
Little tuck. Just a little tug. 13 seconds left here in the first half, and the Tornadoes are just going to come out and kneel on the ball here and take this one into the locker room. And that's the end of the first half. Got a little chippy there at the end of that one. But nevertheless, we head to the locker room. Tiffin Columbian leading 28-14. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this for the Buckeye IT halftime show. You're watching Heart of Ohio Sports. Little HUGO'S is Tiffin's longest-running ice cream store, in operation since 1949. A local family-owned business, you know them because of those famous shredded chicken sandwiches and their delicious fresh lemon slushes. Stop by today and take advantage of their convenient drive-thru, where you're sure to find something for the whole family to enjoy at Little HUGO'S on West Market Street in Tiffin.
Heart of Ohio Sports gives fans the access they want when they want it. And the athletes get the coverage they deserve. Our broadcasts are free, and they always will be. We don't hide behind a paywall.
When my family can't come to the games, they always watch on Heart of Ohio Sports.
We connect fans to the action like no one else can. As a business in today's market, you got to stay ahead of the game. And what better way than to get on board with the fastest growing brand in media today? I mean, you can take it from me, or you can just listen to them.
When recruiters want to see our game film, we tell them they can watch it on Heart of Ohio Sports.
Here at Don Paul Stadium in Fremont, Ohio. Nate Mullins and Tommy Hall on the call with you here for the halftime show brought to you by Buckeye IT Services. Once again, your score 28-14. Tiffin Columbian on top of Fremont Ross. We're going to thank our sponsors, and then we're going to go ahead and send it to the field for the halftime performance by the marching band. So first, let me thank Your Legacy Federal Credit Union, Buckeye IT, XCARET Mexican Restaurant, Hope in Fostoria, First National Bank of Sycamore, UIS Insurance and Investments, STEINMETZ Signs and Graphic Inc., Lease Floor Covering, Little HUGO'S, 5-Star Maintenance, DAH Wraps, CLOUSE Electric, FEASEL'S Frame and Collision, Webster Industries, Burns Electric, Circle H Tire, Benchwarmers Restaurant and Delivery, SARA REISEN, Century 21, BOLTE in Tiffin, and Pit Stop. All proud sponsors with us here on Heart of Ohio Sports, the pulse of the Buckeye State. All right, folks, we're going to send it down to the field now for the halftime performance. Once again, you're tuned in here on the Buckeye IT halftime show We'll be back about 5 minutes before the start of the second half with a little bit more of a breakdown of that first half. Thanks again for tuning in here on Heart of Ohio Sports. Enjoy the halftime performance.
We continue our show with a big hit by the Christian rock band Skillet. Our dance flag majorette squads are featured on the field tonight. This song has gathered numerous new #1 ratings. #1 hits on Christian rock radio, #2 in Christian hard rock radio, #4 on U.S. active rock charts, and #4 on mainstream rock charts. One could almost say it was a monster success. Here it is, Monster! Everyone knows that the Tiffin Marching 120 loves to boogie down and dance. We conclude our halftime show with a dance selection by the South Korean boy group Stray Kids. This 2020 hit of theirs describes the enthusiasm of all of our Colombian athletes as well as our Marching 120. Well, just like the title, All In! you, Fremont, for your attention and your hospitality. Ladies and gentlemen, we are the Tiffin Columbian Marching 120 Band, dance, flag, and major squad.
A fine performance, Tiffin. Thank you. Once again, Fremont Ross is proud to present the Fremont Ross Marching Little Giants. Our director on the field is drum major Quentin O'Brien. We featured music tonight with great Michael Jackson. We opened with a well-known tune originally named Starlight because they thought that would sound better on lists of hits. But this 1982 hit changed the way the music videos were made forever. Let's enjoy Michael Jackson's Thriller. To the SU folks down there by the railing, to please move. You're blocking people's view. Now, written and arranged by Michael Jackson, our next number's video introduced the moonwalk and the black sequin jacket, of course. It won 2 Grammys for him. It's actually written for his older brothers. And another tune that's just about a bad kid that was forced to go to private school, but he's still a bad kid. So let's get into Billie Jean and then continue with Jackson's Bad. Our final tune tonight features our percussionist, but it's also based on Michael Jackson. Back in 1983, when he released Billie Jean, he introduced this move called a backslide. And after he made it famous, it was renamed the moonwalk. So here's our percussion section with some moonwalking. Thank you. We are the Fremont Ross Little Giants. Thank you, Mr. Mike Meadows of Tiffin and Mr. John Calhoun of Fremont for bringing us two fine bands tonight for halftime. Thank you. A new program at Fremont Ross this year is to feed the band prior to the game. Since the band has to be here early to get in uniform, warm up, then march to the stadium for their pregame show.
All right, and we're back here at Don Paul Stadium in Fremont, Ohio. Halftime show brought to you by Buckeye IT Services. And first half, I'll tell you what, Tommy, that was everything you wanted if you're a Tiffin Columbian fan. 28 points on the board. They've allowed only 14, and they haven't allowed any points since the first quarter. So that second quarter, scoreless, got a couple of turnovers as well on that Little Giants offense. But, Tommy, if you're Tiffin Columbian, how do you keep this up? How do you maintain this energy, this enthusiasm, and this momentum that you've taken into the locker room?
In some cases with these leads, when you have a high-powered offense, time management becomes the thing. You don't want to play not to lose, but you want to continue to play to win. But as long as you can control the tempo and initiate like a heavy dose of that run game with a guy like Brockington, who's just been able to eat up yards throughout that first half. I don't see that changing anymore over the next 24 minutes. I say, again, you don't want to take your foot off the gas, but you want to kind of stomp on the pedal and put your neck on and put your foot on its neck here in the second half. And, again, you just want to continue to rain points, because how many points are enough? The answer is more.
That's right.
So I feel for Tiffin Columbian, again, being able to capitalize off those week one mistakes have put them in the driver's seat thus far with a 28-14 advantage. Fremont Ross, they got to come out as a different team in the second half and kind of do those adjustments in the locker room and at the half with young Carson Caden, who again has kind of felt out of rhythm since that first turnover, and then that's led to a couple more over the course of the first 24 minutes here in Fremont Ross.
Let's take a look around the area at the First National Bank of Sycamore scoreboard. As right now, currently around the area, there's a few games going on. Obviously, week one of the high school football season got underway last night with a few games, but tonight, everybody else in action. We got Clyde versus Bellevue, a classic rivalry matchup there. Flyers leading 7-0 as they start the third quarter there. Toledo Start Norwalk leading Toledo Start 13-0. Hopewell Loudon leading Cary 30-13 at halftime. Ooh. The Chieftains making a statement with that first half. Lakota trailing Monroeville 14-0 in the third quarter. Seneca East tied with Crestview 6-6. Sandusky leading Clay 20-12. Ottawa Hills on top of Gibsonburg 14-0 at half. And Perkins over Woodward at half 60-0. Kickoff is away, fielded at the 20-yard line. Jack Newlove on the run. Follows his blockers up to about the 35-yard line, and that's where he'll be brought down. And that's where the Tiffin Columbian offense will take over for the first drive here in the second half. It took them a little bit of time to get the momentum rolling, Tommy, but once they got that offense on track, whew, boy, they were firing on all cylinders.
And that's the thing is the squad never gets down on itself after a few mistakes. As you saw Rogo earlier on get gobbled up, have a turnover interception himself, and it never phased them. They went out on that ensuing drive, just handed the rock off, put the ball into Brockington's hands and let him go to work, as you see him go to work right there on that run to start the second half here.
Good 5, maybe 6-yard gain there by Brockington on that first down carry. Second down and 4 coming up. 28-14, Tiffin Columbian leading Fremont Ross here at the start of the second half. Thanks for tuning in here on Heart of Ohio Sports, the pulse of the Buckeye State. Nate Mullins on the call with Tommy Hall. Greg Kinn, the Wizard, on the 1s and 2s. Connor Roush on the main camera as the handoff to Brockington off the right side. Tries to cut it outside, but he is cut down by the defense there after about a 1-yard gain. Connor Roush on the main cam. Austin Rodriguez on the sideline camera. And we also have Eric Hall on the sideline reporting tonight. We'll see if we can check in with them here in just a little bit to see maybe if the signal has improved with the sideline camera at all. But they are still adjusting their position at the moment.
Last I heard, I think they were adjusting their position in the food truck line.
Hard count by Rogo.
Yeah, once you get in that line,
allows the defense to show its hand, make the adjustment here.
Rogo over the middle, slings it. It's incomplete.
Oh, wow.
What a play there by the defense as Jace Freimeyer gets his hand in there and breaks that one up. Nice play there by the defensive back.
Yeah, that was almost
look at him
adjust.
Step for step. Way to read that route and come across to knock that ball out of the hands of Bryce Rogo. And it looks like the punt unit is on the field, but we'll see. I don't know. I'm not sure. Yes, punt unit onto the field for Tiffin Columbian here.
That's a nice job by Fremont Ross here in the opening stanza in the second half to hold up strong defensively, forcing a 3-and-out.
Auble's kick hits down at the 30, takes a Fremont Ross bounce to the 32. And that's where Tiffin Columbian will down it. That's where the Little Giants will take over for their first offensive possession here in the second half. As you talked about, Tommy, Carson Caden taking over for Caden Holmes, the All-Ohio quarterback, who is gone on to play at Toledo now. An athlete at Toledo. Not even going to play quarterback. He's an athlete at the University of Toledo. So these are some big shoes to fill for young Carson Caden. And I think maybe he might have been feeling the nerves a little bit, feeling the pressure.
Again, it's always
the first half.
It's always different at game speed, especially week 1 on the big stage. So, Caden, he's just got to allow himself to learn from mistakes as they hand it off to Moncrief.
Moncrief on the carry.
Moncrief
just
carrying,
pushing him forward.
Way to hold on to the ball there, too. Big first down there for us. Start off the second half.
That Little Giant first down marker.
Look, everybody's got to have their stuff, man.
We appreciate you going above and beyond to bring those little intricacies here to our broadcast. You're watching Heart of Ohio Sports.
Handoff, Moncrief off the right side. He's got some running room, and he is shifty. I'll tell you what, man. He is tough to bring down and tough to find as he kind of hides behind those offensive linemen at just 5'5".
Looking for that Moncrief.
Yeah. We'll check in with our sideline reporter here in just a little bit, Eric Hall, as he is settling in. I think he might have scarfed down a hot dog possibly in the time between the last time we talked to him and now. Pitch out.
Oh, that's backwards.
Moncrief almost lost it, gets it back, reverses field, and still makes something happen, gets back to the line of scrimmage. This kid is fun to watch, man.
So let's watch him again.
Look at, behind him.
Way to get control of that ball there in that situation.
Just the awareness from that young man to say, all right, I got to go this way now.
Moncrief, quick as a hiccup, that pitch out fell behind him as he got around the ball pretty quick. Could have spelled disaster for the Little Giants, but they managed to get it back up to the line.
2nd and 10, handoff. This time,
Stretching it outside. Nice.
Zaylen Harris on the carry, and he is cut down by Damian Brockington behind the line of scrimmage. It's a 1-yard loss for Fremont Ross.
I know you could go celebrate on the sideline with the guy. They're starting to feel themselves down there.
Gets a little stiff arm action there.
Alzaquani strings him out.
Boom!
Brockington.
See Jack Corper there to meet him.
That's some good football right there.
3rd and 11. Caden rolls to his right, looking, has to get rid of it and just throws it out of bounds. Had nowhere to go with it.
And the wheels just fell off that drive for Fremont Ross. If they were putting together a nice little drive, I mean, they started this drive on the 32, got it out to the opposing 46, and now is that decision time? 7:54. Are you going to punt it away here?
No, you got to punt it away. Absolutely. Your defense just got you a stop. You got to hope that they can get you another one here. You got to believe. You got to believe that they can get you another one.
Lots of moving around here.
That's a nice kick.
Oh, yeah.
Fielded at the 8-yard line. New Love on
and it's returnable.
And he's going to go out of bounds at the 20-yard line.
Good job by Connor there on the camera. He's trying to get that shot, and I saw that there was a fan in the shot, so he was just trying to get the edge of it there. That's nice work, Connor. Hope you watch us back. And
great job.
Get my compliment. One.
New Love has just been instrumental on special teams here tonight, giving the Tornadoes great field position on kick returns. But you see right there on that punt return, could have been pretty scary starting that drive with your back in the shadow of your own goal post. But nonetheless, Columbian will start this from the 20 as Rogo going to be back in the gun. Sends Alzaquani in motion.
Handoff. Brockington. Actually, I think that was Seitz. Was that number 2? Is that Keyshawn Seitz?
Let's see.
Yeah, Keyshawn Seitz on the carry. As Brockington, a little breather there. He's back into the game.
Seitz did a nice job again of meeting the contact and then bowling ahead for another couple of yards as this is going to set up 2nd and 7 now.
Ball at the 24. Man in motion, Alzaquani. Rogo in the shotgun takes the snap. Steps up into the pocket.
Oh, nice.
Looks down the field. He's got Rogo deep. He's got him at it. He's got him at the 30, to the 25, to the 20. And he's down. No, he's still fighting. Still fighting for extra yard. Never went down. And he fought his way down to the 17-yard line. Let's look at that one again.
Way to step up into the pocket there. Escaping the pressure and just launching that one.
Now that's a next level play there.
Wow. Beautiful play, beautiful replay. Well done there by the TC offense. And it's a 1st and 10 at the 17. Another first down brought to you by UIS Insurance and Investments. 4 receivers set. Now they're all on the same side of the field here as we got a timeout. Timeout called by Tiffin Columbian. Timeout brought to you by Hope and Fostoria. Why don't we take a look around the area at the scoreboard, brought to you by First National Bank of Sycamore. Let's look at some other scores from some other games that are happening in your area. Clyde leading Bellevue 14-0. That is in the fourth quarter actually. Norwalk leading Toledo Start 20-0 in the fourth quarter. Hopewell Loudon still on top of Cary. The score still 30-13. Monroeville leading Lakota 14-0. Seneca East has now taken the lead over Crestview 13-6. Ottawa Hills leading Gibsonburg 14-0. Sandusky on top of Clay 20-12. Perkins obliterating Woodward 60-0. And Port Clinton leading Toledo Waite 27-0 at halftime. I'm sure Austin would like that update. Of course, last night, Tiffin Calvert upended Mohawk 14-12.
We keep talking about it being week 1, and after last night, it doesn't feel like it. It feels like it's week 2 here tonight.
I know. 1st and 10. Rogo brings New Love in motion on the right side. Handoff, Brockington up the middle, follows his blocks. He's into the open, down to the 6-yard line. What a nice bruising run there by Damian Brockington.
Good patient running there, too.
Now we'll see if they run it from the 6. What?
Too soon.
What we got here? Oh, we got a player down out there. I heard him blow
Officials timeout here. We'll keep it right here. We'll use this time to thank our sponsors for allowing us to be here today. Thanks to Your Legacy Federal Credit Union, Buckeye IT, XCARET Mexican Restaurant, Hope in Fostoria, First National Bank of Sycamore, UIS Insurance and Investments, STEINMETZ Signs and Graphic Inc., Lee's Floor Covering, Little HUGO'S, 5-Star Maintenance, DAH Wraps, CLOUSE Electric, FEASEL'S Frame and Collision, Webster Industries, Burns Electric, Circle H Tire, Benchwarmers Restaurant and Delivery, SARA REISEN Century 21 BOLTE in Tiffin, and Pit Stop. All proud sponsors with us here on Heart of Ohio Sports.
Pit Stop coming back on board there tonight. They saw that game last night. They called you up and they said, hey, Nate, come make a pit stop here. We want to be a sponsor.
And we always appreciate anybody that wants to come on board with us. Hey, folks, there's still plenty of time. There's 9 more weeks of this season left. There's still plenty of time for you to get on board with us here at Heart of Ohio Sports. Just shoot us a message on the Facebook page. If you're watching on YouTube, you can always email HOOSbroadcasting@gmail.com.
And as a
handoff, Brockington up the middle into the end zone. Touchdown, Tiffin Columbian. From 6 yards out, Damian Brockington on 1st and goal punches it in. And he says, just give me the ball from 6 yards. I'll take it from here.
Yeah, Damian Brockington, definitely, he is him. As this one, again, Greg, you know, throughout this whole game, it's been a slugfest, a slobber knocker from the onset, and now Tiffin Columbian is imposing their will, capitalizing and pouring on more points after how many unanswered points was it, 22?
Yeah. Extra point is up, and it is through the uprights. And the Tornadoes now lead 35-14.
Again, now, you know, it's just
3-score advantage here for Tiffin Columbian.
I was going to say, what, we saw this 2 seasons ago. Nothing safe yet.
Yeah, ain't nothing safe yet.
Absolutely.
Don't count your chickens yet. And I bet Coach Lutz and his staff are telling those kids the exact same thing we're saying right now. Don't even think this game's over yet. This team came back from 16 down with 4.5 minutes left 2 years ago. Do not think this game is over. You keep your foot on the pedal until there are double zeros on that clock.
You spoke about the Heart of Ohio sports coverage this season. This being our 2nd game and looking for them sponsors. Well, the Slugfest continues again. Don't forget next weekend, live and paywall free, our premium live event, BCM Promotions Fight Night 14. Night of Champions, airing live from Fairhaven Hall. Still looking for sponsors for that fight. So if you want to get on board, giving great rates, contact Nate Mullins and HOOSbroadcasting@gmail.com for more information, as we are taking sponsors for that huge premium live event, which garners more than 10,000 viewers across all platforms.
Yeah, it's definitely one of our biggest events that we do. Whenever we do one of those MMA events, we get a huge following from it. Kickoff return. Brought back to the 30, reverse field, and he's going to be brought down right at the 29-yard line. Nice return there by Shanahan. And if we can, let's see if we can check in with our sideline reporter, Eric Hall, who is standing by along the sideline with Austin Rodriguez. Eric, how's the energy down there on that TC sideline after that touchdown, man?
I know you've been waiting to hear about the energy up there, guys. Yeah, they've been bringing it down here tonight, man. Coach Lutz, I hope he has a voice to do our Coach's Corner show on Tuesday at 6:30 there at BENCHWARMERS, because he's getting animated down here, and these guys are fired up, man. You can tell. It's great football down here, man.
That's how you drop it, Eric.
The energy is electric.
Ooh, an electric pass there.
And Shanahan on the reception gets it up to the 36-yard line. Dynamite drop in, Eric. Eric's doing a great job. This is his second year now on the sideline with us. We're excited to have him on board. He's really grown into this role over this last year, because I'll tell you, that first game, going down there, trying to get Steve Reeser for pregame interview for the coach, and he's like, huh? Who are you?
I think he's grown a little bit even since just last night. He's already feeling a little more comfortable. You got to get that first game out of the way, and then
That's right.
Shake off the rest.
Caden back to pass, steps up, and he has pressure, and he's going to be dropped right at the line of scrimmage.
He was looking and looking, and there.
And I really wish
great coverage down the field by these defensive backs for Tiffin Columbian.
I really wish getting those first game jitters out was something that wasn't that didn't affect you. But here in week one, between these two squads with the meat grinder non-conference schedule both teams have in front of them, you can't afford a week one loss.
That's right.
I mean, you talk about setting the tempo. I mean, this very well could decide a lot of your season, as Tiffin Columbian will be back on the call when they play Chardon, who
1 week from tonight at Frost County Stadium. Moncrief on the carry, and he's going to be stood up right about the line of scrimmage.
And Coach Judd Lutz, I mean, he scheduled a lot of postseason opponents here in his non-conference. Talk about Chardon, Avon Lake.
He wants the biggest and the best.
And then you look over on the Fremont Ross side of things. You know, they play Toledo Central Catholic. Teams like Findlay. I mean, it's just these teams. Unenviable task with their conferences and schedules.
Yeah.
That's why we knew this week one matchup was going to be a huge clash, because it was going to set the tone for the entire season, whoever came out with the W.
And the punt is away, fielded by New Love, and he's going to be down because his knee went down right about the 33-yard line.
His name is Floor because he lays on floor.
No, it's not. Stop. Poor guy.
His name is Field because he kneels on field.
It's funny. Tornadoes will take over at the 32-yard line. Now, Tommy, with 3:50 to go, with that fourth down situation, you know, they went 3 and out there, Tommy. So maybe the next time they get the ball, if they're facing a fourth down, is it?
You're running out of bites at the apple as this one rolls on. And if Tiffin Columbian's offense is able to continue to roll, as Brockington will keep things rolling as he rushes ahead for about 6 there.
You talked about Toledo Central Catholic. They moved into Region 10 this year, Division 3. I don't even know how that's possible, but they got more kids and moved down a division. They just keep reloading. They're leading Findlay at the half 28-14.
It's like the two teams I used as an example. They're playing tonight. It's just, I'd love to be a fly in the stands on that one too.
Brockington on the handoff, and the defense does a great job of pushing the line back into the backfield. And Brockington had nowhere to go on that one.
Luke Durbin, you know, a name we say a lot, Tykel Patterson. He's just been so impactful on the defensive side of things, along with Shannon Han. These guys are having tremendous outings in their senior campaign. It's just this game with the turnovers has not went the way the Little Giants have expected. As, again, those turnovers, they start to hurt as the game goes on.
Rogo back to pass, slings it over the right side. New Love with the reception.
Wow.
Got a foot down. What a beautiful catch by Jack Newlove. Can we see that one again? That was just, so good.
Here's the thing, on 3rd and 7.
Just tap that left foot down.
3rd and 7, you don't even shy away from the deep ball when you're up 20 points. You just put it up there for a guy that can get it, and that's exactly what Rogo does so well.
Pistol set here.
Greg, you want to go down there, take some snaps, and get some add to your stats because he's receiver core.
They'll go up there and get it for you.
Might be able to get it somewhere near him. Somewhere. Within 5-10 yards, something like that.
As long as nobody rushes, right?
Yeah.
Defense has to stay on their side of the line of scrimmage.
So it's like the 10 Mississippi rule or something like that. That's what we used to do back in the day.
Give Greggy 20.
Just don't even come at me.
Don't.
Stop it.
Pistol formation here for the Tornadoes. 2nd down and 11 coming up. 2 receivers on the near side, 1 on the far side. That's Bryce Rogo all by himself over there. Talib Al-Zaquani, the wingback on the right side. Brockington in the backfield.
Ross definitely not loading up the box, kind of.
Rogo looking. Pressure and dropped in the backfield for a sack. Blake Scotch.
Faked him out with that pump there when he went to load up. Connor was going to go follow it.
Told that lineman to scooch on over.
Get that. They're going to move Columbian back a scotch as now they're facing a 3rd and 20.
This is Coach.
3rd and 20 coming up here for the Tornadoes after the big sack. We're inside of a minute to play here in the 3rd quarter. 35-14. Tiffin Columbian leading by 21. 3rd down and long. Empty backfield set and a timeout called by Tiffin Columbian. We'll keep it right here for this timeout brought to you by Hope in Fostoria. Just 50 seconds left, and that is Tiffin Columbian's 2nd timeout, so they have just 1 remaining here for the rest of the ball game, but they want to make sure they got everybody on the same page for this play. It's a big play, 3rd and 20. Even if you don't get the 1st down, you want to get a little closer so you can pin them deeper, closer to their own end zone. So it's a big play. Once again, I want to give a shout out and a thank you to our presenting sponsors for tonight's game. Your Legacy Federal Credit Union, our post-game show sponsor. Stick around for that. Buckeye IT was your halftime show sponsor. And XCARET Mexican Restaurant brought you the pregame show tonight. Make sure you stick around for the post-game show. Once again, brought to you by your Legacy Federal Credit Union, where we will have our player of the game presented by Little HUGO'S. We'll try to get Eric to snag our player of the game after the game is over.
You make him check up Don Paul Stadium steps.
Absolutely.
So he gets paid the big bucks.
I mean, for a Little Hugo's gift card, I'd stomp them steps.
3rd and long.
The rows go all the way up to double C here at Don Paul Stadium.
And the row go is going deep here, and Brady Gooding is the man he's looking for.
Close.
And it's going to be short. And Gooding coming up a little.
I mean, I wouldn't say
hobbled after that play as he's making his way to the sideline, but
I wouldn't say also that they took that timeout. Not necessarily a nail in the coffin, but you got to believe if that had been a reception, they start pounding them stakes.
.44 seconds left here in the 3rd. Punt unit onto the field for the Tornadoes. Braylon Auble gets the punt away. Fielded at the 28-yard line by Shanahan. As when he brought it in, he was at his knees, so let's say he's down there.
And what's going to be interesting to see over the next
they just gave him 2 yards.
Couple weeks.
Whatever. I mean,
a guy like Allball, who's 6 foot 232, he's got a lot of power behind that leg, and you see it get the height in the air. That's one of the things that's the hardest thing to work on as a punter. Now, to be able to try to get a little bit more lift under it and make it go further, that could be a dangerous tool in the special team's wheelhouse of Tiffin Columbian.
Caden back to pass, slings it over the middle, off the left side. That's complete to his receiver, but an immediate tackle there by Bryce Rogo. Mason England on the reception.
I was wondering what was off about this away look. It's white on whites for Tiffin Columbian.
I love it. Caden steps up into the pocket, And now he's going to take off and run with it, and he is going to be driven out of bounds just past the line of scrimmage. Picks up maybe a yard on the play. But the junior signal caller has had some trouble seeing downfield here today, Tommy, as I think once that first option's done, once he's past the first option, he has trouble finding that second option in his read. So that's the end of the third quarter. Score 35-14. Tiffin Columbian on top as we head to the fourth quarter of action. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this. You're watching Heart of Ohio Sports.
Small business owners need somebody that can open the door to financing. And at First National Bank of Sycamore, we love opening the door for financing opportunities.
For high school students, this can be a fun time of year. Prom, graduation, summer vacations, etc. Sometimes students will attend parties that permit underage drinking.
There are serious legal consequences and liability issues for parents who serve alcohol to underage students. This could include fines, lawsuits, and even jail time.
Parents can be held responsible for underage drinking even if they're not home when it happens. The best gift you can give your child is to be their parent, not their friend.
Don't be a party to teenage drinking. Parents who host lose the most.
Buckeye IT Services is a trusted partner for cybersecurity, fully managed and co-managed IT support. Municipalities, financial organizations, and mature businesses turn to them to eliminate IT stress and enable growth. Visit BuckeyeIT.com today to start your partnership.
And we're back here at Don Paul Stadium. The last play sees the Little Giants come up short of the first down marker, so 4th and 3. And they bring the punt unit onto the field here, trailing by 21 in the fourth quarter. The punter kind of gave a look like he was thinking about taking off with it, but then he decided, nah, I'm going to go ahead and punt this one away.
Well, when you had a defender that close to you, you probably second guess taking off with that one too.
Right? Bryce Estep on the punt. That goes out of bounds about the 25-yard line. That's where Tiffin Columbian will take over for their next possession. Just one score in that third quarter after lighting up the scoreboard there in the second quarter. They put up 22 points in the second quarter, but just one touchdown there in the third.
Well, we knew
they still maintain a 21-point advantage here.
We knew that the signature of this Fremont Ross squad this year was going to be that defense, and it was the offense that kind of had them turnovers that Tiffin Columbian was able to capitalize on and have more gifts and more bites at the apple than Fremont Ross has been afforded here tonight. And that's what the difference maker is in these type of games is who's going to have the most chances with the ball, who's going to be most effective with those drives. And Tiffin Columbian, like we talked about, them points off turnovers, 22 unanswered, really solidifying themselves in the driver's seat to control the tempo of this game. Fremont Ross isn't out. The offense has to start clicking together. You got to have performance out of both sides of the ball.
Sure why we have such a delay here. It seems like it's taking an extra long time here.
Yeah.
All the officials are holding up there.
Well, if you haven't done so already, go ahead and give us a like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube page, as those subscriber numbers really help us monetize our reach on those platforms. And we're also provided paywall free thanks to our community-minded sponsors.
Handoff off the left side. Brockington on the carry. Up for about 3 yards. But yeah, Tommy, like you said, it helps so much to spread the reach for us when fans that are watching not just follow and like, but also share the video. It takes 2 clicks, and you don't know how many more people could go, I didn't know Columbian was on right now. I didn't know Columbian was playing. I didn't know I could watch Columbian on my phone.
Yeah, we just had somebody comment and ask if they could watch on their TV, and I said, absolutely. Yeah. You can get YouTube on your TV. We're
Brockington off the right side, stiff arm and out of bounds, past the first down marker, up to the 30, 38-yard line. They'll give him the 39, close to the 40. That's a first down run for Damian Brockington. But yeah, just the share of the video. You don't know how many of your friends don't know about this. And you're helping us and you're helping them.
Chances are you went to high school together.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I know a lot of the alumni of a lot of these teams, you know, they tune in and they watch and kind of wish they had something like this back when they played.
Oh, I can't tell you how many times I've heard that comment.
Damian Brockington is met right at the line. Coach once again with a huge tackle. Yeah, Nate, I know those guys that of yesteryear, you know, first thing you do when you got home was either try to catch something on that big board Friday or turn to the newspaper the first thing in the next day and see those stat lines. But to be able to watch a full 48 minutes of some high school football, can't go wrong there.
Usually the conversation goes a little like this. Hey, you know, I love what you guys are doing. You guys do such a great job. Man, you know how cool it would be if they had something like this when I was playing?
We do.
Hand off to Brockington once again. Sites.
Keyshawn Sites on the carry. Good for 2 yards up to the 42-yard line.
Comes off the tackle. Now he's going to face 3rd and 8.
Down to 9:05 left here in the ball game. And since those early fireworks, Tiffin Columbian has really quieted this crowd here at Don Paul Stadium.
Tiffin Columbian is definitely controlling the pace in this one. As a pass out to New Love, able to scamper upfield. I think it's going to be enough to move the chain and then some.
Going to do it. Up to the 49-yard line inside Little Giants territory. That'll be a fresh set of downs for the Tiffin Columbian Tornadoes. Another UIS Insurance and Investments first down.
I'll tell you what, UIS is getting the most out of their investment, sponsoring them first downs as Tiffin Columbian.
After last night, I said, all right, maybe not every first down. They'll get like about 6 or 7 a game at least.
Tiffin Columbian definitely putting that to good use here.
3 receivers set. Hand off to Brockington up the middle and a little bit of running room, but he is swallowed up quickly by that Little Giants linebacking core. I think that was 32 on the stop. Kate Reinick. Yeah. Great. I'm telling you guys, every comment that says love the graphics, we love those comments, please, because keep them coming. Greggy loves to see that stuff, and he should, because he does a great job with it.
I do, because I think it's hilarious and it's awesome, and I feel like everybody else would enjoy it.
This is his own biggest fan.
That's right.
Sling it over the middle, and that one's incomplete, intended for New Love, but I think New Love was thinking about what he was going to do with it first before he caught it. Tiffin Columbian holding a 21-point lead here in the fourth quarter. We'll take a look around the area at the First National Bank of Sycamore scoreboard after this play.
Play clock winding down.
4 seconds left. Rogo slings it out left side for Brockington, complete. And he's open to the 30, 25 to the 20, 15, and out of bounds inside the 10-yard line. Damian Brockington.
And once again, the chains move for the Tornadoes, keeping the sand of the hourglass falling through, trying to close this one out. Still, you know, again, 7:15 left in this one, but you got to get a stop here if you're the Ross Little Giants.
Let's take a look at that scoreboard brought to you by First National Bank of Sycamore. Toledo Central Catholic leading Findlay 35-14. Clyde on top of Bellevue 14-6. Norwalk leading Toledo Start 27-0. Hopewell Loudon on top of Cary, 36-19. That's in the third quarter. Handoff to about the 5-yard line is Keyshawn Seitz. Monroeville on top of Lakota, 20-0 in the fourth quarter. Seneca East leading Crestview 13-12. That's a nail biter right there. Ottawa Hills on top of Gibsonburg, 22-0 in the fourth quarter. Sandusky still leading Clay 20-12 in the third. And no other score updates as of yet. So once again, thanks to First National Bank of Sycamore, our scoreboard sponsor tonight. Hand off to Brockington. Up the middle. Breaks a tackle. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Tiffin Columbian. Damian Brockington from 5 yards out punches it in and punches an exclamation point on this game as the Tornadoes now take a 27-point lead, 41-14 with 6:09 left here in the ball game.
Tornadoes trailed for a good majority of that first half. Couple turnovers bounced into the Tornadoes' favors, which they were able to capitalize on. And that 22 unanswered point has now swelled up
35 unanswered points. That one blocked. Ooh. Extra point attempt once again blocked by this Fremont Ross special teams unit. So it remains a 35-point or 34-point game. Or 28-point game, 27-point. My math is just not here today, folks. My brain's everywhere else but math.
It's week one for us, too.
That's right. I'm just like, whatever.
My brain's everything else but math.
So 6:09 left to play in the ball game. Stick around for the post-game show brought to you by Your Legacy Federal Credit Union. We'll have our player of the game brought to you by Little HUGO'S. I don't know. It might be a little hard to crown this player of the game, Tommy. What are you thinking? Like, there's a lot of guys out here that really put their imprint on this game.
I think there's only really one answer to that.
All right.
Kind of put
all
this
right. All right. Fine. Whatever. You know, whatever.
He's like, wait till
put this one on ice.
You wait till it's time.
We'll check in with our sideline reporter, Eric Hall, after kickoff here.
What do they say on that show, 48 Hours? Normally the most obvious answer is usually
that's right.
Usually the right one. I don't think there's any bones of contention with how the pace and tempo of this game has been dictated throughout the second half here by the Tornadoes.
Kickoff fielded at the 13-yard line by Shanahan to the 20. Breaks a tackle to the 22. Reverses field. And he is slipped up, tripped up, and brought down right around the 27-yard line. All right, let's check in with our sideline reporter, Eric Hall, as he is down there with our sideline camera operator, Austin Rodriguez. Eric, how's it going, man?
What's up, guys? We got Rogo over here. Trying to get out of the shot. But yeah, these guys are having fun down here, man. The crowd's loving it. Got Mr. 4 touchdowns having fun. I saw him walk by one of the defenders and flash the 4. He was they're having some fun down here, guys.
So, you know, this is one of those games where at first it had a little bit of intensity, a little bit of tension, but man, as this game has worn on, they're just having some fun right now. And you got to feel good about this Tiffin Columbian offense. But here, J.D. Moncrief takes the carry and he pops the ball out. And Tiffin Columbian comes up with the fumble at the 30-yard line.
You know what? And that's A.J. Hickman's second. That's his fumble recovery, interception earlier.
Yeah, watch this hit.
Huge plays defensively.
Who had the hit on Moncrief here? Pop.
Oh,
Al Zaquani along with Manny Aller.
Yeah, whoever came from behind there, I didn't even see the ball flew forward.
Yeah, Manny Aller and Talib Al Zaquani combined to make that stop. And I think that was Aller who punched the ball out.
And, I mean, for anybody that says momentum isn't a real thing and having Uncle Mo on your sideline doesn't help, you're looking at exactly what that does. For some reason, Murphy's Law rears its ugly head in some of these instances where you're falling behind.
Sights off to the outside, gets it outside and close to the first down marker before he's out of bounds. They'll give him the first up to the 17-yard line.
I think, again, sometimes in those desperation moments, you're doing everything you can to give your squad a chance, and those mistakes pop, those turnovers, those mistakes happen because you're trying to force the issue.
You got people trying to beat the traffic here, I guess. This is a very big crowd over here for this game, man.
Yeah,
it was.
We're looking out.
That parking lot filled up so quick.
Yeah, quote unquote parking lot at this giant field over here. There's just rows of cars. Wasn't like that when we got here. We didn't
Rogo
hear that early.
in the shotgun, handoff to Sights, and defense right there in the backfield to make the play.
You know what, that purple and gray scheme, Tommy, they kind of remind me of the old Alma. Can't talk. The Bluffton Beavers.
Yeah, I thought that when I looked at the helmet.
Yeah, those helmets are nice looking.
A little bit of a Kansas State look almost.
Yeah. Saw a picture of them on the Little Giants Facebook page.
Yeah, those helmets are crisp.
It's got like a nice chrome.
Yeah, Fremont Ross definitely has some clean unis.
Oh, yeah.
Crisp.
It's like a purple chrome logo on the helmet.
Again, the envy. All these teams have so many different looks. Back in our day, you had the choice of blue or white.
And you were lucky if you had the same number in both colors.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, and look at that. Just coming
Huge.
right through the line there.
Big time stop there by Luke Durbin.
Some poison Durbin there.
He said, that clock didn't strike 0 yet. I'm still playing.
Oh, wait, that's a...
You want to talk about a 1-by-1? Look at Peyton Heschel, 6 foot, 285.
3rd down and 15 here now. They've only moved backwards 5 yards with this possession.
Little quick pitch, and it's dropped by Sights, and
that's recovered.
Recovered by the Little Giants at the 29-yard line. So careless with the football there.
That was like a mishandled pitch. Is that what happened here?
I'm not sure what happened.
Tried to
There was
tuck
a
it. It looked
miscommunication
like
here.
as he tucked it, it just slipped out.
Oh, yeah, it was a little low. It was
Well,
under
the
his
pitch
hands.
really, it got
Yeah,
away
it got
from
away.
Rogo. He didn't really get it out there like he wanted to. I felt like maybe it might have slipped.
I think he wanted to get the ball a little higher, and it kind of went under his hands, and he was like, whoop. Yeah, I think you're right, Nate. I just don't think the toss came out the way you wanted it to. But if you're going to turn it over, that's a good place on the field to turn it over.
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
I mean, if you're Fremont Ross.
And a quarterback change here as Braylon Garza is going to get some playing time. Freshman quarterback here for Fremont Ross. Well, sidearm slings it down the field and completes it to his receiver. Tykel Patterson on the reception. That was pretty good. I tell you what, man, that was pretty fun to watch there.
That was a little
Freshman quarterback, a little sidearm
Patrick
slick.
Mahomes-esque.
Yeah.
He's just looking for something, and he said, oh, I got to get rid of this one.
Isn't that the punter?
No, 16's the punter. Nice throw and catch there as he got it out to Shanahan about the 49-yard line.
Oh, got a helmet came off of him.
And I tell you, Tommy, they might have something with this young freshman quarterback here. Young man coming into an unenviable position here at the end of the game, just kind of trying to make the best of the situation here. But a 2nd and 3 now for the Little Giants. Garza back to pass. He's going to step up. He keeps it and nearly loses it there, but flag flies in at the end of the play.
He went for the old stretch out.
And a hold call is going to go against the Little Giants. Yeah, tried to stretch it out to get the extra, but almost lost it.
March some of those yards off that the young freshman quarterback has been able to garner for this Fremont Ross Little Giant squad. As this one again just slipped away from Fremont Ross. It really did. I mean, just self-inflicted root wounds. Tiffin Columbian was like a shark smelling blood in the water. And they took advantage of it. Now Garcia scrambles in the pocket, works his way around, got some wheels on him. Playing with reckless abandon. I mean, you love guys like that play with that type of moxie. It gets you so far. But it's something you can rally behind.
Yeah, and as a freshman, I mean, that could turn into big things here in his career.
Yeah, absolutely. Inside of 2 minutes to play now.
You've seen some guys ride that type of reckless abandon all the way to being a first-round pick, a Heisman.
Braylon Garza, freshman quarterback in the shotgun, takes the snap, looking, sends his receiver downfield, creates some time for himself, now gets rid of it, has it out to his man who makes the reception. Tyrus Brown gets it up to about the 48-yard line.
Still should be short of the sticks, though.
But a fourth down coming up here for the Little Giants. And rather than risk anything here.
You kind of
just... sure he's not the punter? That looks like the same guy.
Well, they have E-Step listed as the punter and kicker on the roster, 16.
Yeah. I was going to say he kind of looked disappointed that they were going to punt it here. He's like, come on, let me swing it. Here.
He's probably like, what are they going to do?
Oh, that's
blocked right up in the air. Garza picks it up off the block.
Gets his own play.
Still trying to make something happen. Ball comes out at the end of the play, but play is whistled dead at the 36-yard line. That's where Tiffin Columbian will take over.
When are you allowed to advance the block punt?
How often do you punt the ball and catch your own punt? Look at that. What awareness, though. He looked straight up at that thing. He knew right where it was at.
You can advance that if you catch it, I'm pretty sure.
He was definitely trying. The whistle didn't start until he got tackled, so I think you're right, Nate.
And just if it's a turnover, is that the rule or what?
Yeah, I would think. Well, I mean, you can pick up a block punt and take it back, can't you?
We need to refresh ourselves on just the high school rules.
Yeah, well, they changed a lot of it. Job at reading our rule book here.
I mean, we talked to Lento last night. He talked about how they change things. They change things every year.
They change rules every year. Yep. But that's one that, And that'll be the final play of the ball game here. 41-14 is going to be the final score. Tiffin Columbian avenging the last 2 years.
The third time finally is the charm for the Tornadoes.
They're able to come away with a victory here and start out this season 1-0, heading into a tough matchup next week against Chardon. We'll step aside, take a quick timeout, but we'll be back after this with the post-game show brought to you by Your Legacy Federal Credit Union, where we'll have our player of the game presented by Little HUGO'S. That's coming to you next right here on Heart of Ohio Sports, the pulse of the Buckeye State.
Little HUGO'S is Tiffin's longest-running ice cream store, in operation since 1949. A local family-owned business, you know them because of those famous shredded chicken sandwiches and their delicious fresh lemon slushes. Stop by today and take advantage of their convenient drive-thru, where you're sure to find something for the whole family to enjoy at Little HUGO'S on West Market Street in Tiffin.
Heart of Ohio Sports gives fans the access they want when they want it. And the athletes get the coverage they deserve. Our broadcasts are free, and they always will be. We don't hide behind a paywall.
When my family can't come to the games, they always watch on Heart of Ohio Sports.
We connect fans to the action like no one else can. As a business in today's market, you got to stay ahead of the game. And what better way than to get on board with the fastest growing brand in media today? I mean, you can take it from me, or you can just listen to them.
When recruiters want to see our game film, we tell them they can watch it on Heart of Ohio Sports.
We're watching high school football on Heart of Ohio Sports.
Why go to Lee's Floor Covering in Tiffin? Because at Lease Floor Covering, they know that selecting the right flooring for your home can be overwhelming. They make choosing the right items for your home simple. At Lease Floor Covering, they have one of the largest selections of floor covering in Northwest Ohio, including Abbey Carpet and Floor. Stop in and see for yourself what everyone raves about at Lease Floor Covering in Tiffin.
At Heart of Ohio Sports, it's obvious. The first thing that comes to mind is sports. But we do a lot more than just cover live sporting events.
Go, go, go!
When we want to watch our highlights from last night's game, there's only one place we go: Heart of Ohio Sports.
Small business owners need somebody that can open the door to financing. And at First National Bank of Sycamore, we love opening the door for financing opportunities.
For high school students, this can be a fun time of year. Prom, graduation, summer vacations, etc. Sometimes students will attend parties that permit underage drinking.
There are serious legal consequences and liability issues for parents who serve alcohol to underage students. This could include fines, lawsuits, and even jail time.
Parents can be held responsible for underage drinking, even if they're not home when it happens. The best gift you can give your child is to be their parent, not their friend.
Don't be a party to teenage drinking. Parents who host lose the most.
Buckeye IT Services is a trusted partner for cybersecurity, fully managed and co-managed IT support. Municipalities, financial organizations, and mature businesses turn to them to eliminate IT stress and enable growth. Visit BuckeyeIT.com today to start your partnership.
All right, and we're back here with the postgame show presented by your Legacy Federal Credit Union. Nate Mullins, Tommy Hall on the call, the Wizard Greg Kinn on the ones and twos, Connor Roush, Mr. Details on the main cam, Austin Rodriguez on our sideline camera, and Eric Hall, our sideline reporter tonight here on the Adrenaline Stream. You're tuned in on Heart of Ohio Sports. Final score, Tiffin Columbian 41, Fremont 14. Folks, at one point this game was 14-6 Fremont. And then Tiffin Columbian went on an absolute tear. Just said, no, you know what? We're just going to go ahead and put our foot down and say this isn't happening anymore. 34 unanswered points, and that's the story of the game here as they put this one away. 41-14, your final score. Just an outstanding performance on both sides of the ball. As, you know, you talk about this offense, and, you know, putting up 41 points is great, but, Tommy, this defense really took advantage of some opportunities and kind of created some opportunities for the offense by getting some turnovers, forcing the issue, and really kind of rattled that Fremont Ross offense after they came out and really kind of punched them in the mouth. 14 points on the first three, 2 out of the first 3 possessions they scored on. So Tiffin Columbian kind of reeling a little bit, and then they said, you know what, no, this is it.
That pick from A.J. Hickman afterwards, Damian Brockington running it in from 16 yards out for a touchdown. Right after that, Braden Rogo finds Bryce for the 2-point conversion to tie that up at 14-14. Then after that, Braden Rogo finding his twin Bryce for that Brogo connection for a 12-yard touchdown on that corner route. Put TC up 20-14. And then again, it turned into the Damian Brockington show off another turnover. Jack Newlove's interception. We forgot about that Braden Rogo bomb to Brady Gooden that was good for 62 yards. I mean, Tiffin Columbian, what they were able to do off the turnovers was really what put this one out of reach for the Fremont Ross Little Giants here in the second half, to where, again, that fourth quarter, Fremont Ross was just playing keep up the entire time as, as Tiffin Columbian padded those stats. Damian Brockington, 6-yard touchdown scamper, put TC up 35-14 and just about out of reach. And then the cherry on top, 5-yard touchdown scamper by Brockington, 41-14. Your final here from Don Paul Stadium.
Well, if I just saw correctly, I saw the camera following Mr. Brockington, so that means that we're about ready to present our Player of the Game award. And, of course, Player of the Game presented by Little HUGO'S. And I'm sure Mr. Brockington's going to be pretty excited about getting this one because $10 at Little HUGO'S, as we said, that goes a long way, folks.
Mr. Brockington, ice cream.
Ice cream.
Ice cream, Mr. Brockington.
But, as again, we talk about the beautiful facilities and the hospitality by Fremont Ross here at Don Paul Stadium. Can't thank the athletic director and Coach Chad Long enough for allowing us to come over here and bring this game to you live and paywall free. As, again, a guy that had the opportunity and was blessed to play in the area. Everyone knows that Don Paul Stadium is definitely a host to a lot of playoff, a lot of postseason games. So getting to be back under the Friday night lights over here, again, you can't say enough. You can't start off week 1 of the high school football season under the bright lights than a better. You always want to be at home, but if you can't be, Don Paul Stadium was the place to be. And now the place to be is right here on Heart of Ohio Sports as we get ready for our Player of the Game. As this young man had a couple of touchdowns late in the game. Really was a driving force in the offense to help control the tempo after Tiffin Columbian was able to capitalize off those 2 turnovers earlier on in the game. But we got the man himself right here, the beast, Damian Brockington, our Little HUGO'S Player of the Game. How you doing, Damian?
Good, I'm good. How you guys doing?
Doing all right. Can't thank you enough for playing a full 48 minutes and then making those trek up those stadium steps.
I'm winded. I'm winded.
But, yeah, I think he knows that it's worth it to come up and get himself a little.
I'm going to get me some ice cream.
A little treat.
That's right.
So, again, victory is the only thing that could be sweeter than some of that ice cream. What was going through your mind during the early onset of this one where a couple things weren't going Tiffin Columbians your way? You guys kind of were spreading the ball out, kind of trying to do that balanced attack to where, again, after a couple shaky series, you guys really decided to trust the ball in your hands and really take over to where, again, get your team back into a situation where you guys could get into the driver's seat and continue to dictate the pace of this game. What was going through your mind during those early bumps?
Coach been pushing all week. We're going to see adversity, and I just thank my coaches. They trust me with the ball, and I just make plays.
So I got to let you know here. You had a fan watching on the broadcast, and I figured I'd let you know. Brody Conley says, yes, sir, Dame.
What up, Brody?
So, you got a lot of fans out there watching at home. Anything you want to say to your fans out there?
Appreciate it, guys. Love you guys.
Absolutely.
Thanks for the support.
Absolutely. So, big-time performance here tonight, young man. Going into this is your senior campaign. What's important to you this year?
Winning.
Winning?
That's all I care about.
Every game,
I don't
right?
care how many touchdowns I have. Everybody make plays. Who makes plays? I don't care who makes the plays. We just got to win. That's it.
Love it. That is exactly what you want to hear. Now, big-time matchup coming up this week.
Big week. Big week.
I know that you haven't been thinking about it up until now. This is your focus.
Yep.
But now you can put this one behind you. Now you got to focus on this next one.
It's a big week.
It's a big week.
A lot of adversity next week. A lot of adversity.
Just talk about what goes into this preparation for this game and just what you guys are going to have to focus on the most this week to be successful against Chardon.
A lot of film. We'll watch film Monday, I think. And our defense is play sound football.
Defense. I think that's going to be the key.
Defense is the key every time.
I love it.
Defense stops, we score.
Wins championships.
Defense gets out, we score.
That's right.
So, number one goal, win.
Yep.
What wins game? Defense. Man, a few words, and as Toby Keith always said, a little less talk, a lot more action, and that's the personification right there. Our Little HUGO'S Player of the Game, Damian Brockington.
Can I get one shout out?
Oh, absolutely.
Shout out to online, baby. Love you guys.
You can have more than one if you want it, man.
Nah.
That's the one that he wanted to give. I love it. Thank you. Appreciate your time. Once again,
good luck to you, young man. Thank you.
Little HUGO'S Player of the Game, Damian Brockington. 3 rushing touchdowns today for Tiffin Columbian, and he really set the tone and set the pace for this offense to put up 41 points today here on the road. Wow, what a performance.
I definitely think we set the tone for the season. During our week 1 broadcast and coverage of high school football, we were in for a treat, especially yesterday. against Calvert and Mohawk to kick things off for us, and then this huge week 1 matchup between Tiffin Columbian and Fremont Ross, and the hits just keep on coming as, again, next week we'll set the table for you for week 2 action, Coach's Corner on Tuesday, and then don't forget, after Friday's game and our coverage for next week, Saturday, BCM Promotions present Fight Night 14.
That's right.
Night of Champions, live from Fairhaven Hall. Still plenty of chances to get in on sponsoring that event with your friends here at Heart of Ohio Sports. Just contact Nate Mullins or email us at hoosbroadcasting@gmail.com. But Nate, what a tremendous game we witnessed here tonight.
And it was a fun one here tonight. Obviously, if you're a Columbian fan, you really love the final result. But for us, just as football fans, it's just so great to be back in the saddle, brother. I was just chomping at the bit to get ready for this one. And, these last 2 nights, it's unusual getting that start on Thursday, but it almost felt like a Friday, Saturday kind of week, But I tell you, it just feels so good to be back at it again. High school football's back, folks, and it is better than ever here on Heart of Ohio Sports. We are so excited to bring you another fantastic broadcast season. Thank you so much to all of our fans out there watching at home. Thank you to all of our sponsors once again for allowing us to be here, because without you, folks, we would not be here. First, shout out to all of our presenting sponsors. You're watching the Your Legacy Federal Credit Union postgame show. Shout out and a thank you to Buckeye IT Services, our halftime show sponsor, and XCARET Mexican Restaurant, your pregame show sponsor. Also want to thank all of our sponsors, including Hope in Fostoria, First National Bank of Sycamore, UIS Insurance and Investments, STEINMETZ Signs and Graphic Inc., Lee's Floor Covering, Little HUGO'S, 5-Star Maintenance, DAH Wraps, CLOUSE Electric, FEASEL'S Frame and Collision, Webster Industries, Burns Electric, Circle H Tire, Benchwarmers Restaurant and Delivery, SARA REISEN, Century 21 BOLTE in Tiffin, and Pit Stop. All proud sponsors with us here on Heart of Ohio Sports. All right, folks, make sure you tune in this Tuesday as we've got the Coach's Corner. Monday. Oh, wait. There's one more thing. An action-packed week here on Heart of Ohio Sports as... Wait a second, I got ahead of myself. Monday, tune in here on Heart of Ohio Sports as we'll be live from XCARET Mexican Restaurant, one of my favorite establishments in Tiffin. And we're going to be, what, eating queso?
No, I'm talking about raising funds for youth football.
Oh, darn it. Queso, youth football funds, we love it all at XCARET Mexican Restaurant. Come on out and join us. It's an all-day event, but our show is going to be from 7 to 8. Come out and join us. We've got the coaches from Tiffin Youth Football lined up for interviews, as well as some special interviews with some players from Tiffin Youth Football. You're going to want to check that one out. If you can't come out and join us, I understand. Just make sure you tune in here on Heart of Ohio Sports. And then on Tuesday, we'll be at Benchwarmers once again for the Coach's Corner live on Heart of Ohio Sports right around 6:30, as I'll have Coach Judd Lutz on with me to talk about this big win over Fremont Ross, and to talk about an even bigger game next week against Chardon, which we will be there to cover that one next week here on the Adrenaline Stream. And that means that next week we have 2 streams on the same night. That means the X Stream makes its return next week as Calvert travels to Monroeville to take on the Eagles. And I'm telling you what, that's going to be a tough matchup for Tiffin Calvert. Maybe a little tougher than they thought it would be, because Monroeville, at last I checked, they were up 20-0 on Lakota in the 4th quarter. So that might be a changed program. Josh Morgret gave a shout-out to the new coach there at Monroeville, talking about one of his former friends, guy that he went to school with. Now getting a chance to run the program over at Monroeville. Once again, Extreme debut next week as Zach Dillon and Dominic Helmstetter will be on the call for that game, Calvert at Monroeville, right here on Heart of Ohio Sports. And then that's pretty much it for us, guys. That's going to do it here tonight at Don Paul Stadium. Once again, your final score, Tiffin Columbian 41, Fremont Ross 14. Any final thoughts here tonight, fellas?
Not just, again, another tremendous week of high school sports here on Heart of Ohio Sports, and couldn't be any more pleased with our week 1 coverage. So thanks again, everybody, for joining in and tuning in. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our Facebook and our social media pages on YouTube.
Absolutely. And make sure you share the video if you've made it this far. As I see right now, there are 168 people still watching to this point. do us a favor real quick. Just click that share button and help us out before you end the broadcast here with us. Once again, you've been watching Heart of Ohio Sports, the pulse of the Buckeye State. Have a great